I think you had a cup of tea or coffee. You're fresh now. Okay, let's recap what we saw in the first session. We saw the goal of marriage, the two becoming one, right? Then we saw expectations. Lord, how can I become the right person for my spouse? That should be my prayer. And the next thing is we saw marriage as a call, right? We have been called to be a gospel, right? When people see us, they should ask us, what is the difference? What's the secret of your marriage? Who's your God? Right? That should be the question people should have when they see us. We should influence people around us.
There is always attraction when we are together.
Yeah,
okay?
We are called to be repairers of broken wall, right? We should stand in the gap for the other people, other marriages, right? We should give them hope, right? We see Peter and Sally as a couple, wonderful couple, and they give us hope. Like that, when you get married, you should give hope for the other people, you and your spouse, right? So marriage is a call. Marriage is a call to be a gospel. Marriage is a call to be a miniature heaven on earth. It depends on you, whether your marriage is going to be a heaven or it's going to be a hell, right? Right. But we bless you that you'll all be marriages on earth. I mean, marriages that's like heaven on earth, right? The next thing is marriage is a covenant. We saw that marriage is a call. Now we say marriage is a covenant. What is a covenant? What is your understanding of covenant? Throughout the Bible, from the beginning, we see the word covenant, right? Directly or in some hidden form.
But God calls marriage as a marriage. Here in Malachi and Proverbs, we see marriage as a covenant relationship.
What is a covenant?
It's a promise.
Yes, it's a promise. And what kind of a promise is that? There's a difference between covenant and contract.
What's the difference?
Covenant is something irrevocable.
Irrevocable, yes. Good. Cannot be broken at all. It's a lifelong commitment. Fantastic, right? Covenant. So how do we understand covenant? We have to see the life of Abraham. It starts from there, right? Genesis chapter 12. Abraham was 75 years old. God calls him. Abraham, leave your country, leave your people, leave your father and mother, leave everything and follow me. Okay, that's a command given by God to Abraham. And you will go to a place, right? I'll show you a place and you'll go there. God did not mention the place that Abraham would go. But go, but he said, come, when you obey me, I'll make you into a great nation. Okay, I'll make you into a great nation. That's a promise God gave Abraham. And he said, I'll make you a great nation means, Abraham, you'll have many children. That's a promise God gave. Okay, right. Let's move to the 15th chapter from 12 to 15. God said, I'll make you into a great nation. But till the 15th chapter, Abraham did not have a single child. Okay, not even a child was born to him. So Abraham maybe was disturbed and said, God, you called me when I was 75 years old. Now I'm about 88 years old. You are the one, I was staying with my parents. I did not want to come out of my parents because I'm already old. But you called me and said, you'll make me into a great nation, right? But till today, I don't have a child. Right? Oh God, let me give you an idea, Lord. I have a servant called, his name is Eliezer. He's from Damascus. Lord, he's a grown-up man. He's a very faithful servant. Can I adopt him as my son? Will your promises to me will be fulfilled through this Eliezer? Lord said, no, Abraham, listen carefully. See, I am not a human being to lie. When I make a promise, my promise will stay forever. Okay, I'm not a human being. So, I mean, you are made out of dust. I'm your creator. I said, you will become into a great nation. And I said, it will be fulfilled. Abraham, you can be 88. But even at the age of 200, I can make you have a child. I can make your wife bear a child from your own body, right? So he said, okay, Abraham, you have a doubt, small doubt about this? I'll make a covenant with you, right? Okay. And for covenant, there are certain procedures that had to be done. So God told Abraham in Genesis chapter 15, sorry, build an altar, bring me some animals for sacrifice, right? That is the second procedure. First one is build an altar, bring the animals. What are the animals? He says in Genesis 15:9. So the Lord said to him, bring me an, yeah, just a minute. Can you move this? Yeah. Bring me a ephah, a goat, a ram, each 3-year-old, along with a dove and young pigeons. Abraham brought all these to him, cut them into two, and arranged the
halves opposite to each other. The birds, however, he did not cut in half. So the procedure of covenant here, the Lord was teaching Abraham, then you need an altar. On the altar, you need to keep some animals as a sacrifice. But here you have to see there is a something very peculiar that God is asking to Abraham. That is, when you cut an animal, where do people cut? Actually, they cut the neck. Okay, but here the Lord was telling Abraham, cut the animal into two pieces. That is
two halves,
two halves. Okay, and put them like this,
opposite to each other.
opposite each other. So it is like two halves. One half is here, one half is here. So when you cut an animal like that, that is just open into two. Okay. So when you make like that, what happens in the center? There will be a blood. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Genesis chapter 15, verse 17, if you read, and the sun had set, darkness had fallen, and blazing fire and a fire pot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces.
And the third process is,
On
right, you build the altar, cut the animal into two halves, put the halves opposite to each other. And the third procedure is when the sun had set and for darkness had fallen, a smoking fire pot with blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. On that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abraham. The third process is they had to walk between the pieces. Yeah. Here you will see Abraham not walking between the two pieces, sacrifice pieces, but you see God, the form of a blazing for smoking fire pot, just passing between those pieces. What is the significance of God passing between those sacrifice pieces, right? It means if Abraham, listen to me, I am making the covenant with you. I am the Lord, right? You are my created being. I am making a promise to you, right? To be faithful to you. But if I fail, if my words fail, then don't call me God. That is a challenge. That's a challenge of the promise that God made. Abraham, I gave you a promise. Yes, that's for sure, right? If my promise does not stand, I am not God. You understood? That's the meaning of the covenant that God made with Abraham. Okay.
So during Abraham's time, the covenant was done like that.
Yeah.
Okay. It is there need to be an altar. On the altar, there is a sacrifice. Even Noah's time, you see, Noah made an altar. On the altar, he sacrificed an animal. And then God promised that he will not wipe away the world with water. And then he put a sign on the sky that is a rainbow. That
Right.
you all know. Like
Right.
that, Abraham time, the covenant was made like that. So, but here, as Peter said, that only the Lord was walking between the pieces.
Why should only the Lord walk between the pieces, right? He did not allow Abraham to walk between the pieces because God is a God of faithfulness. He never breaks his promise, right? He never breaks his promise. So God says, okay, I made the promise, I made the covenant, I'll keep my promise, right? From that day onwards, what happened is, right, people started following this formula, okay? Altar, cutting an animal into two, and also walking between the pieces. For example, let's go back 3,000 years. I am selling a piece of land to Sally, right?
So
And what we do is,
I'm buying land from him. So I'm going to give him gold and silver as
so
an exchange.
yeah. So what we do is we go to the panchayat. We don't have the elders of the town. We don't have a registration office those days. So we go to the elders and say, sir, I'm going to sell this piece of land that is situated between all these things, this road and all this thing. And she will give me in gold or in silver, so much of gold and silver. So after that, what we do is we cut an animal into two, okay, put the pieces apart, and both of us walk over the blood. The significance of both of us walking over the blood is, in case I, after getting gold and silver from her, try to cheat her. Tell Sally, see, you have not paid me fully. You only
I
paid me.
paid.
No. You only paid me partially. No, half
No,
of the
that day
money.
you got
No. I don't know. If you put your land, if you step into the land, into my land, I'll cut your legs. Right?
Why you can't say like that?
No.
You made a covenant with me.
Whatever I said, you only paid me half, right? You cheated me. But
If
here, I'm cheating her, right? In case, after making that covenant promise in the deal, right? I try to cheat her. This is what Lord tells me, right? I cheat her, and we see that from Jeremiah chapter 34 and verse 18. Those who have violated my covenant and have not fulfilled the terms of the covenant they made before me, I will treat like the calf they cut in two and then walked between its pieces. Did you understand the meaning of it?
what's the meaning of it? You tell us.
Did you understand the meaning? Those who have violated my covenant
And not fulfill the terms of the covenant they made before me, I will treat like the calf they cut in two and then walked between pieces.
What did you understand from this verse?
So the cheater would be, sorry, somebody.
Peter will be.
Yes,
Yeah,
come
the
on.
cheater will be presented in front of God,
Hmm.
and my understanding, and he'll be cut apart
Hmm.
as if the sacrificed life we did
Okay.
at the time of covenant.
The very simple thing is what happened to the animal will happen to you. That's a very simple thing.
God himself
Okay.
is telling, right?
See, that's
Because-
the meaning of cutting the animal into two half and putting and walking between the pieces.
And over
The
the blood.
Lord wanted us to realize, see what happened to the animal. If you cheat, it will happen to you. Okay. So that's the thing. It is a very covenant means it's a serious promise. It is not a playful thing. Okay. So God calls marriage as a covenant. In Malachi chapter 2, verse 14 says, marriage, your partner, marriage covenant partner, God says. So,
I would like to ask a question.
Yes.
Why is God so violent in the sense, even to depict the covenant relationship? Why God is bringing some life and cutting into pieces?
we are short memory people, Shiva.
Okay.
He
are
always
short.
warns us, right? He
We
gives
are,
us warning after warning.
we are very, very, very short memory people. Within a short memory time, we make a lot of mistake. God said, okay, the thing is, he said that, okay, all these fruits there for you to eat, only one fruit you should not eat. Okay, all the
Mhm.
trees. See, all the trees means in the Garden of Eden, just imagine yourself, you are there. There are countless number of trees there with fruits you can eat, but only one you should not eat. The short memory of the person is what is it?
He wants to eat only that.
Ah, don't want to listen. So God wants to tell them that is, see the seriousness of it.
Okay.
Hmm?
See, covenant marriage reflects the triune nature of God. Okay. Marriage reflects the holy triune nature of God. And God wants to preserve marriage, right? If He does not have such a kind of a rule for us, then the marriage will happen today, tomorrow they'll divorce. In some marriages, morning it happens, evening they divorce.
People are doing nowadays.
Right. Okay. So if you break the marriage, you bring disgrace to God. So God says, if you break a covenant, it means, okay, for example, you have accepted Christ and who lives in you?
Christ lives in you.
Christ lives in you. Okay. You make a promise to somebody and you do not keep your promise. Who is being disgraced?
Christ,
Christ
obviously.
is being disgraced. God does not like that, right? It brings disgrace to God. As a Christian, I need to keep the promise. And marriage is something greater than the promise I make to a friend. Okay, this is a covenant promise that reflects the triune nature of God. Okay, so God gives a severe warning to those people who breaks marriage.
Okay.
Okay.
So here God said the marriage is a covenant relationship. But in nowadays, New Testament times, we don't do any animal sacrifice in our marriage. Do we?
Have you
No.
seen anybody walking to the altar on the
With
wedding
a
day with a
cow or
cow or a goat or a buffalo for sacrifice?
Maybe after that we will eat biryani. That is different. Huh?
But see, for a covenant, the rule is you need a sacrifice, animal sacrifice and bloodshed, right? But why we are not taking an animal to the altar and making a sacrifice,
there.
the husband and the wife walking between the blood, between the pieces and over the blood.
But we make a promise. But
We
we
make
don't do the procedure.
Why we are not sacrificing?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Okay.
Anybody knows? Christ is our perfect sacrifice. Okay. In Hebrews 10:10, we read, Christ became once and for all sacrifice. After Christ sacrificed on the cross, the Christ gave us the full assurance that I became the once and for all sacrifice, no longer animal sacrifice.
Okay, now,
Okay?
we walked to the altar, right? And we stood there. But on whose blood did we stand?
I'm washed by the blood of Christ, and he is washed by the blood of
I'm
Christ.
covered by the blood of Christ.
And we are,
On whose blood are we standing? Did we stand?
but we all go to the altar. Okay. We all go to that's why marriage happens near the altar. Okay. We go to the altar, we stand there. Whose blood will be standing?
Christ.
Christ's blood.
Yes.
Okay, after standing Christ's blood, and then we say promise to in future that you are going to make. Some of you going to get married in September and all, no? So you would have printed your promise and all those things. The promise that we are going to make.
Peter, take you, Sally, as my wedded wife, right? In this one, that one, all
In
these things.
sickness or in health, in richness or in poorer, in any
sorrow or in joy,
Ah.
right? That is the condition. And what do I do? Right?
To love.
That is in any circumstance, in any condition, right? I will love you, I will honor you, I'll cherish you, I'll yield to you, I'll submit to you.
Forsaking all others.
Forsaking all others, right? That's what we say at the altar.
I'll be faithful to you. That's a promise we
make at the altar.
Okay, future you are going to make. Okay. So, okay. Now after making the promise, okay, and coming out, and then, okay,
the marriage took place, okay, and now we are in the reception, and both of us are standing there. Right, as we stand, the Sally's friends, a group of beautiful girls, come to the stage. Right, I look at the girls. Hey, how did I miss this girl? She's much prettier, huh? Prettier than Sally. Hey, how did I miss this girl? If I had married her, I would have got half a kilo gold. If I married her, I would have got about 10 or 15 acres of land more. My mind works like that. What was a promise I took 2 hours back at the altar? To love you, to cherish you, to honor you, Okay, forsaking all others. What is forsaking all others? You are my first priority, and for me, others are nothing, right? But within 2 hours, what do? I look at the other girl, right? And I start drooling.
And I look at the other boy. Oh, this man earns more than my husband. I missed. Huh? If I think like that, it is, I am disgracing my God.
I'm breaking the covenant, right? Okay, in a marriage, right? I promised I love you, I'll honor you, and all these things. If I do not love my spouse, I'm breaking the covenant, right? If I don't honor or respect my spouse, I'm breaking the covenant.
Okay, first 3 months, lovey, honeymoon, and all these things.
Mm.
After that, within 6 months, I got pregnant and started vomiting. Okay, and vomiting, and it's so sickening. Hmm? So I'm pregnant and all these things. Oh, all the time I'm
Hey, stop vomiting now, okay?
Why
Right.
I can't stop,
Wait.
Uh,
Okay, you vomit, you go to your mother's house and you can vomit there as much as you want, okay? I'm just disgusted with your vomiting.
huh?
I cannot live in this house. It's stinking,
What?
right?
I'm vomiting because of you.
Not because of me, right? Can I say like that?
In
Huh?
sickness or in health. We promise to each other in sickness or in health. So the thing is, do we really honor each other? Okay. If my husband says that he's sick, can I say to him that you go to your mother's place and get well and come back?
No. I married you to take care of me.
Oh, then you don't take care of me. I should take care of
Yeah.
you.
It's like that only. The rule is like that. Okay. I promise to her that I will love her forever, right? But if I'm not able to withstand all those things, the vomiting and all these things, then I'm breaking a covenant. Okay. In case I don't keep up my promise, what is a warning given in the New Testament is from Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 29. It says, how much more severely do you think someone deserves to be punished who has trampled the Son of God underfoot, who has treated as an unholy thing the blood of the covenant that sanctified them, and who has insulted the Spirit of grace? Right? My relationship with Christ is a covenant. Our marriage is a covenant, right? We stood on the blood and we took the promise. In case I don't treat my spouse or she doesn't treat me properly, God is telling me how much I deserve to be punished
God,
because I stood on the blood of Jesus Christ and made the promise. I
how can you?
disgraced the Spirit of grace.
God is asking us, how can you insult me? You cannot insult me. And he says that the revenge is mine. I'm going to take the revenge. If you insult me, I'm going to take the revenge. That's God's word. So you people are going to say, I do in marriage altar, that you're going to say in future. When you say that promise, okay, remember that you are a holy covenant promise that you are making. When you make that promise, you need to remember that I need to stand by it with reverence and with really truthful heart. You have to make that promise.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just want you to remind you, you need to remember these two verses. Okay, Jeremiah 34:18 and Hebrews 10:29. So remember these two verses, print these two verses when you get married, stick it in your kitchen, stick it in your bedroom, stick it in your hall, stick these two verses. Even in your bathroom, you need to stick these two verses, right? Whenever you fight with your spouse, this word should reflect, okay? You just fight with your spouse and turn your face, then God says, how much you deserve to be punished, right? The fear should be there. God is not a cruel God. I'll tell you, God is a loving God. Okay, we falter a lot. We make mistakes. We do things. He's a forgiving God, right? What we want to say is, right? This is a warning for all of us because it says marriage is a covenant. It reflects the triune nature of God. Right? Whenever you fight, You disgrace me. God is telling my son, my daughter, you're fighting like, like Satan's, right? Satan's don't fight, they are in one team. Okay, you're fighting like hell. And whenever you're fighting, you're bringing disgrace to me. Understand? So remember these two verses. So marriage is a call, marriage is a covenant that cannot be broken. It's a relationship, it's a promise that you make in the presence of God, standing on the blood of Jesus Christ, telling, I love you forever. I live with you forever. I'm determined to live with you forever. If I break it, the judgment is on me. The curse of God is upon me. So with these two verses, right, you should have the fear of the Lord. When we read these verses, well, okay, it really shook us. We were shaking because, oh, we have done so much of mistake in our relationship for so many years. So then we thought, okay, how much holy is marriage? How much holy is a relationship? Is a holy relationship that I have with my spouse?
You people are more blessed people because before marriage itself, you are hearing this so that you can set right your ways. That I need to be careful with my marriage. It's not a playful thing. Marriage is not a playful thing. That is that you enter into marriage. Hey, come on, yeah, let's see whether it is working out or not. No, 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 no. Huh? You enter with God, fear of God, and with that the commitment that you are going to make. And then you need to understand that Malachi chapter 2 verse 14 says, you ask why? Because the Lord is acting as a witness between you and the wife of your youth. Because you have broken faith with her, though she is your partner, the wife of your marriage covenant. So in your marriage covenant, future marriage covenant, who is the first witness in your marriage?
God.
God. God stands. See, God deliberately taking effort to stand for every marriage. Okay, because he only instituted the marriage. So he stands as a witness. So we all have, okay, future you are going to have witnesses in marriage, that in church and all, two people will sign for your marriage paper, certificate. Okay, one from boy side and one from girl side, or two from boy side, two from girl side. But before people sign for your marriage, God has already sealed your marriage. He stands as a witness. Why he stands as a witness? You see, marriage covenant is God, husband and wife.
It's a triangular
relationship. Okay, so here is where husband and wife, when they get closer to God, they become one. So here is where you need to understand that you cannot choose a person who is not a believer. See, here you have, see, if the person, husband choosing somebody as a God and wife choosing somebody as God, then what happens in this relationship? It is an open relationship.
It's not a closed relationship. It's not a triangular relationship. The relationship becomes like this, right? There's a gap here. Whenever there's a problem, I go to my God and she goes to her God. There'll not be any kind of a solution for our problems, right? We're going to have more problems. That's why in the beginning itself, God taught Adam, we'll come to that, right? God taught Adam that you have to choose a believer, right? You have to choose a believer.
That's why the Paul said that do not be yoked with an unbeliever, because God stands as a witness in your marriage covenant. Okay, so this is what very important. It's a triangular relationship. So remember the triangle, God stands as a witness. And then if you read Malachi chapter 2, verse 15 and 16, okay, you will see that God hates divorce, God hates unfaithfulness, God hates violence.
Right.
Huh?
Right. We'll read the verse for you. Okay. In Malachi chapter 2, 15 and 16. We're just teaching from Malachi chapter 2, 14, 15, 16. We saw marriage as a covenant. But there are three things that marriage covenant forbids, right? I'll read the verses. Has not the Lord made them one? In flesh and spirit there is. And why one? Because he was seeking godly offspring. So guard yourself in your spirit and do not break faith with the wife of your youth. I hate divorce, says the Lord God of Israel, and I hate man covering himself with violence as well as with his garments, says the Lord Almighty. So guard yourself, your spirit, and do not break faith, right? Three things God aids in this marriage relationship. One is divorce, the other one is unfaithfulness, and the third one is violence, right? These are very dangerous for the relationship. Okay. What is divorce? What is divorce? We think that going to the court, and when two people do not, when they are not able to live with each other in a marriage relationship, so they go to the court, and
They
they
get separated.
yeah, and the judge gives them the order. Okay, they are no more husband and the wife. Okay, they are separated now. But that's not the meaning of divorce, what we see in Malachi chapter 2 and verse 15. Okay, the meaning of divorce is entirely different. Okay, in Hebrews, right? The meaning of divorce is, I mean, in Hebrews it's called, the word is shalak is used, which means to put away. For example,
What is the use of living with you?
I am also thinking the same thing. What is the use of living with you?
I'm also thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but why do you live with me then? Get out of the house.
You get out of the house.
Why should I get out of my? This
I
is
am
my house.
paying rent, you know.
You're paying rent.
Ah.
I'm paying for all the other expenses.
What
So,
are all other
yeah,
expenses?
yeah.
You're not doing anything.
Yes,
You
yes.
get away from
No,
it.
I can't get out of the house.
Oh,
You know?
see, I see. Instead of marrying you, I should have married 2 buffaloes.
Really?
Mm.
I'll get you 10 buffaloes. Okay. Please leave me. Release me. I'll be very happy.
Yeah, yeah.
10 buffaloes are. 50 buffaloes also I'll get you.
Give
Live with the
give
buffaloes.
give me that. Give me
Okay.
that. Let me see
Ah.
whether you are giving me.
Yeah. I'll give you 50
Yeah,
buffaloes.
See,
Yeah.
I'm just living because of these 2 kids.
Just for the 2 kids, huh?
Ah.
Take both the kids and go to your mother's house. Who
Oh,
wants you?
so you are telling me to take the kids and go, so you want to be free.
Yeah.
Ah,
You
I
only
have
said-
to take care of both the kids.
You only said no, you're only living for the kids.
Because of our unions, kids found what to do.
Yeah.
What to do? I'm
Yeah,
just
you do
living
one thing.
with- it's a-
Yeah, you take one kid and give me one kid. I'll take care of one kid.
How can you separate them?
Give me both the kids. I'll take care of both the
As
kids.
if that you take care of.
Yeah.
If you take care of them, why should I
You
fight
know,
with you?
For me,
Ah,
from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Bombay to Guwahati, there have been lots of girls behind me. Okay, of all the girls who followed me, I married you. I don't know why I married you.
you are thinking only like that. Who
But
followed you? No.
so many girls.
Okay, don't just simply think. Okay,
Hmm.
you have just lot of imagination and fantasy. Nobody followed you.
No. Not only that, I was love with a girl, Rosie.
Oh, now only it's all coming out.
Rosie.
Tell
Okay,
me.
ex. Okay.
Tell me
If
now.
I had married Rosie,
Mm.
my life would have been so wonderful.
Don't
Cheh,
think that you have only person. Okay,
Yeah.
I heard why is that or not.
so many.
Mm.
Ah, you cheated on me.
No, why should you also
Okay, I feel like committing suicide now.
do it now?
Huh?
Do it.
Right. Okay. The meaning of divorce is not going to the court and getting a separation, but living together, yet we are not able to become one with each other. Understand? Living in the same house, yet because of our actions,
An
our
attitude.
words, our attitude, right? That can separate us.
That's what God says. See, your attitude and your thinking. God really sees our thought pattern. See, some people, we vocalize many things to you people, but there are couples, they won't vocalize. It's all in their thinking inside. Oh, why I married this person? So why am I living this person?
I think it's not
Okay.
God's plan at all. God's
God
will for me
says,
at all.
don't think like that. You work on oneness. Why are you thinking like that? Don't think in your mind that you want to send away that person. That is called divorce. So it is not only separated in the court, in thinking in our mind, it's a divorce. And physical divorce is for lack of intimacy due to fight and hatred and boredom. That's also divorce. Living separately in 2 different rooms because of a difference of opinion and not respecting each other,
Yeah, that is mental divorce, right?
not
Right.
loving each other. That is
That is emotional
divorce.
divorce. So physically you can be divorced, you can be mentally divorced, you can be emotionally divorced, right? Many people, you see them as husband and the wife, they come to the church, they get into all the activities of the church. They do ministry and all these things, but yet they cannot become one like the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. That is divorce. So the God hates that word called divorce, right? So now you know the meaning of divorce. It's
So God
not
has no B plan. Okay, when God has really instituted the marriage institution, he had never had a B plan.
in Facebook.
Okay,
You see,
so
no?
don't enter into a marriage thinking that there is an option.
Yeah.
Okay,
So some people
remember,
say, no, when God closes one door, he opens the other door. But when you get into the marriage room, inside that room, the front door is shut and there's no back door at all. Okay.
it
You
is
cannot
like a
get,
Noah's Ark.
okay. How many women did God bring to Adam in the beginning? Only one, right? Only one, right? Did Adam complain to God saying, Lord, you gave me such a beautiful garden, huge garden in acres, and lakhs of people can have food there. So much of food is there. But why are you so confused in bringing only one woman to me? If you had given me 10 women, first thing is you told me, multiply, be fruitful and multiply. Multiplication would have been very easy, if God has got them 20 wives, right? Not only Lord, if I don't like Eve, I can marry Esther. If I don't like Esther, I can marry Deborah. If I don't like Deborah,
He didn't say like that. He lived with Eve 930 years. Okay.
very good
Without
man.
complaining that why Lord you brought only one person. No.
He didn't question God at all. Okay. So God did not give Adam a B plan. Be happy with this one woman, man. 930 years, not easy, man. To live for one day itself, it's very difficult for some people. This man, good man, did for 930 years with one woman. Okay, record breaking.
Second thing God hates is unfaithfulness. Unfaithfulness, the Hebrew word is called bahad. The bahad means anything secretly and clandestinely doing things. Anything secretly. Between husband and wife, if you have any secrets,
It's cheating.
it is called cheating.
Right?
Okay.
I am cheating myself. I'm cheating my own flesh because God made us one. Right? So, bahad means it's like plundering your own flesh.
Looting. Okay. So what are the things unfaithfulness that we know is adultery is unfaithfulness, emotional adultery, mental adultery. Peter,
Yeah.
why are you having mobile phone? Your password, you are having it?
Password. There's nothing wrong. Everybody's got a password.
Yeah, you can have it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you need to tell me, no, I'm your wife.
No. This is my private thing, right?
It cannot be, Peter. After marriage, you cannot do like that.
No, it is indecency to check on others' cell phone.
I'm not checking on.
Not
Okay,
check,
but,
whatever is said.
let us be transparent.
Those days they'll say, you should not read the other person's letter. It is indecency like that.
You are not other person, you are my own flesh.
Whatever is said. What is there in the cell phone? Nothing is there.
That's what I'm asking.
Nothing is there.
Nothing is there means you show.
No. Nothing is there. See.
Then why are you hiding, man?
See,
Tell me.
there are some office secrets,
You are not working for Raw. Okay,
No. See, sir, there are some secrets that should not be shared with the wife at all. My boss said.
Oh my God. Your office is not like that. Okay, I know that. Okay.
So we know of a couple, that person, he locks his phone, and inside that, I don't know how he locks each app or whatever is it. Nobody can, for an ordinary man, okay, he cannot open his phone. And his wife said, even to the bathroom, he takes his cell phone, iPhone.
So, but you need to understand that, children, you're going to get married. If you don't want to reveal your mobile phone password, or you don't want to show your mobile, that your if your future spouse not able to read or anything, then don't get married. Okay. If you want to be secret like that, please don't get into marriage. Okay. Because this will create a lot of havoc. So If you want to be open, don't delete the messages and show to your future spouse. Okay, you have to show whether without deleting, you have to show. If
You
there
gotta
is any unwanted group, stop it.
Hmm.
No. So if you are not transparent enough, okay, your spouse is going to struggle.
Right. Have you heard about this word called polyamorous? How many of you have heard this word called polyamorous?
Multiple relationship.
Right?
Hmm.
Yeah, 1%.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what is polyamorous? I'm married to her for physical relationship. I'll have a relationship with others like
Emotional relationship, mental.
besties, right? For my emotional comfort, I'll have for my mental comfort. Then for everything, we'll have different relationship. It's an agreement between the husband and the wife. Or maybe without the knowledge of the spouse, you cheat on your spouse. That is polyamorous. I'm having multiple relationship. Okay. They say today the world glorifies it. There's nothing wrong about it. I have a person for this one. They compartmentalize the relationship. Okay. One for sex, one for emotions and all these things. God hates that. Physical, there are physical adultery, there is emotional adultery. For example, I'm married to Sally, right? As I walk the road, uh, Rosie is walking in front of me, right? She comes walking tuck, 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 tuck like that, in tight jeans and tight red t-shirt. I see her and and my head turns like this. I leave her in the next street and come. What is that? What does that mean?
Adultery.
What does that mean?
It's adultery behavior.
Mental adult.
Emotionally. Yeah, yeah. I'm getting connected to her. One person, okay, he's into a group. The group has got about 2,000 people, right? My friend, my friend's friend, his friend's friends, and all these women and men, right? He got connected to a woman there. And there was a big fight between the husband and the wife. They came for counseling. And the wife said he's having connection with the girl, and night 12 o'clock and all, she sends message and all these things. I asked him, you are married, you need to be connected to your wife emotionally, mentally, and physically. Why are you in connection with this lady? What is the relationship between you? He said, see, yes, there's nothing wrong about it. I'm faithful to my wife. But one thing with my wife is we don't have that same wavelength. What is that?
Wavelength.
Same wavelength, it seems. I asked him, okay, you have a geo tower and your wife is a BSNL tower, okay? And the other woman is a geo tower. So you get connected very easily, right? You don't have you have the same wavelength. You are into adultery, man, I told him. Right? You're into emotional adultery. You're connected with her.
So children, if you have not, if there is some relationship which you have stopped and still you are continuing in that, unless and until you are healed from that, don't go into marriage. Okay. So that is very important.
Okay.
And then the thing is, if there is some friendship which is with who are really what to say, very mm, doubtful friendships, stop it. Okay.
If
That
your
is,
spouse says, be careful with this woman or this man,
be
then
careful.
respect your spouse.
Yeah.
Right? Don't continue the relationship with that person, particular
Don't say,
person.
oh, he was my friend for so many years. She was my friend for so many years. Let me ask boys. Boys, when you see other boys who are flirting, do you know that they are flirting? Let the boys answer.
Yes, yes.
You know, no? In the same way, girls, we know that when some girls are flirting, we know that they are flirting. Okay. But if I tell my husband that girl is flirting, be careful, my husband will say,
Hey, you always think wrong about that girl. Da. She's such a nice, pretty girl, you know.
Papa, I know, Papa, there is something different. Her eyes, the way she is looking at you, the way she is talking to you is not right.
Her eyes are like that. What can we do? Right? Nothing wrong with her mind.
As if that you know everything.
Uh,
So, the thing is, when your future spouse wants you, be careful.
Yeah.
Okay. So there should be a boundary in your friendship relationship, and so your spouse should be your spouse should be free to tell you these things. Also, you have to be very free with your spouse. Both of you should be transparent with each other.
Yeah.
And be transparent with your money. Okay. One thing you don't want, you have to be very transparent with your mobile. Okay. This is very important. And then comes money.
Right. We are going to talk about the money part later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll come to that, how to manage money and all these
All
things.
these things,
Okay.
okay?
So God hates divorce. We saw what is divorce. God hates unfaithfulness.
And
right?
God hates
It's not only
violence.
physical, it can be emotional and also mental, right? God hates violence. Can the husband beat the wife? What do you say, women? Yeah, young ladies.
No, Rashmi said no.
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely no.
No. Okay. Can the woman beat the husband? Yes,
Absolutely
yes,
not.
yes. Yes, 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 sir.
No.
No. It's
Now,
not right.
I just want you to read a verse from 1 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, don't you know that you are the temple of the Holy Spirit? The Spirit of the living God lives in you, right? And if anybody destroys this temple, God will destroy you. Got it? You are the temple. The Spirit of God lives in you. If anybody destroys this temple, God will destroy you. She's a temple, I'm a temple. In case I'm violent with her, God will destroy me. That's a warning. So if what we want to tell you is, if you are hot-tempered, right, you get angry very fast, I think it's time for you to mend yourself, right? Get the help of somebody, how to like control my anger issues. There are people, counselors who can help you out of your anger.
What
Right?
are the trigger of your anger issues? What are the things that I'm struggling from my childhood? Am I not liking myself? Am I angry with myself? Or am I angry with my father and mother? Their actions? Is that causing me for anger? Or there are certain things which cause you anger. Okay. So you need to separate those things. Okay. Is my childhood trauma making me angry so much? Then I need to separate those things. People cannot heal you. People can help you, but God can only heal you. Okay. So you need to realize that, okay, Lord, I am just when you open before God, God is really will help you to heal from the sicknesses that we have. So physically, we should not be violent with each other. And also, God says, verbally also, we should not violent with each other. You cannot use all words to your spouse, all kind of nasty words to your spouse.
Okay. Women speak a lot, right? Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, we agree.
Why do
Because
you speak a lot?
we use
Yes,
both
sorry.
right and the left of our brain for communication.
Why?
Okay. So God has bestowed us in a way that we use right side and the left side of the brain together for communication. So words are more. Men use only one side of the brain for communication.
The other side of the brain we use for good things, you know.
We use it, then why we have to shout at you? Okay. So the thing is, yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing like that. But the thing is, see, men, they use less words. Women, we use a lot of words. Why God has given us a lot of words to us is, when Adam was lonely, God said, it's not good for a man to be lonely. I will make a helper suitable for him. For loneliness, what do you need? You need somebody to chat. No, you need some friendship. So God made a friend with the ability to chat well. Okay. So God has given a woman the real the power to chat well. So the thing is, the why God has given such a blessing to bless the relationship, to build the relationship, not to break the relationship. So we should not use our words to break the relationship. To build, we have to use the words to build the relationship. Some men, they think that words are less. So what they think that, okay, I cannot beat my spouse, I cannot
Yeah.
use misuse, I cannot
I
use
don't have
bad
words. I
words.
cannot talk like my wife. So how do I punish her? Keep mum. Don't look at. Don't. You just let her shout at me. Let it fly over my head. That disturbs your wife. Yeah.
Purposely silent, purposely not talking to your spouse is also violence, because women, if my husband is not talking to me, it breaks my head, because I am a chatting
Chatterbox.
chatterbox, and when I am not receiving any word from him, it will break me. But we are not talking about silence to diffuse a fight. Okay, we both are angry, one person is silent, to diffuse an anger is good. Okay, but we are not, we are talking about the silence purposely. Purposely, I want to irritate you, I'll be silent. That God hates. Okay, so God hates three things, that is uh, divorce, violence, and unfaithfulness. So God hates anything stands as a stumbling block to his vision, that is two becoming one.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see what happened in the second session. We saw marriage as a covenant. Covenant, we saw two verses, right? There's severe punishment for those people who break a covenant, because this relationship reflects the triune nature of God. We bring disgrace if we separate. Okay, covenant means you cannot break the relationship. Okay, Jeremiah 34 and 18, Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 29. We told you to note these two verses, take a printout of it.
Read it and meditate on it, and then you see. Then we saw God hates divorce, God hates unfaithfulness, God hates violence. It is not that only what we see, divorce, unfaithfulness, all these things are the very deeper meaning towards it.
Yeah.
So when we do these things, in Malachi chapter 2, verse 13, God says, I will not listen to your prayers. I will not receive your offering. I will not look at your cry. Okay. So God says these things. This is a severe punishment when God says, I will not listen to your prayers.
Let me explain to you the 13th verse. Right. You come to the altar and cry to the Lord. Lord, we are in disgrace. My family is not doing well. God is telling us, right? My son, my daughter, I told you to become one, but you still fight. You're so unfaithful to your spouse.
So violent with your spouse.
So you're so violent with your spouse, and the words that you use means divorce, right? And that is why my eyes are not looking at your tears, my ears are not looking, listening to your cries, my hands are not taking your offerings, right? Is there any greater punishment for a man and for a family when God disowns us? That's the greatest punishment. There's no need for God to take a rod and hit us. No, if God separates from us, when we see that separation, it breaks our heart. It brings, we lose the peace of mind. We lose the peace in our family, and the family will become very dysfunctional. Okay, so marriage is a covenant, and in the marriage, God hates three things. Divorce does not mean that we need to go to the court. It can come from our mouth itself, our attitude.
Okay. So here God is God of forgiveness, and he is very compassionate. He loves us so much. He gives us chance after chance. That doesn't mean that we can take it for granted.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to understand that. So he gives us chance after chance, but also that doesn't mean that we can take it for granted.
So-
So marriage covenant means death to independent living. Okay. So it is not that my space, my dream, my career, my house, my jewels. It is all my become our. Okay. It's our space, our dream, our career, and then exchange all that what was held separate. Okay. We have to, so this is what marriage is. Two of us, two different personalities. For remember, okay, just imagine that this is a candle. Okay. And he has a candle. Peter also has a candle.
And this is another candle I'm holding.
Mm.
Right now we are getting married. This is
My
a
individual life, this is.
this is my individual life, right? I earn, I spend as I want, right? And I go out, eat anything I want. I buy branded dresses. There's nothing wrong with
Even
going
I,
out and
even,
eating.
even
And
I do, I earn, I do whatever I need. I do my things for my family. I help
as
my
I wish.
family as I wish I do. Okay.
But now we are getting into marriage, and this is another candle, right?
This is our marriage life. Okay. We are lighting our marriage candle.
Okay.
Okay.
Right now there are three candles here, right? Which candle should we protect now?
All the three.
All the three.
I
Oh
think the
no,
middle one though, the white one.
the one, this one, right? The marriage candle, right? So we need to blow off my candle.
My
Well-
selfishness, I need to blow off.
It's
Okay.
not my dreams, it's not my space, it's not my career, it is us.
Okay.
And this is how we need to protect.
Both
The
of us
marriage
together, we
candle.
need to protect our marriage. So what happens after marriage? Okay, what about our career? How we can develop? It's not that immediately we lose our individuality. It's not individuality we don't lose. But the thing is, together with our individuality, how we really merge together. Okay.
So when we get into marriage, you need to prepare yourself that I am going to glorify God, right?
Through this relationship.
I am not going to glorify myself and my dreams. I'm not going to grow myself, but together
We're
we
going
need,
to grow together.
grow together so that God is glorified. That should be our goal. Okay, right.
So
We saw.
So from the moment you say I do, you are changing the dynamics of your life. Okay. Remember
So don't
that.
be scared. Don't think that you're losing your freedom. I'll tell you, if you follow God's word, you'll enjoy this
More
relationship.
exciting it is.
The most beautiful relationship is between the husband and the wife, right? And you will enjoy so much. Okay, right. So marriage is the goal of marriage is two becoming one, right? We are repeating it so that you don't forget, right? Marriage is a call to be a gospel. Then the third thing is marriage is a covenant. Three things that God hates in the marriage covenant is divorce, unfaithfulness, and violence, right? Now we are going to see the commitments in marriage. Any questions do you have?
You have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Shweta?
So you mentioned one point about not polyamorous relationship, like having different compartments and
Yeah.
having different people for different areas, maybe emotional or like that. Do you mean, is it only wrong when you're going for such when you're depending on other people of the opposite gender? Because sometimes there are things like emotional needs that we cannot exactly get from our spouse, but maybe there's a spiritual elder mentor who can help us better, or how can we only depend on our spouse for everything? That's also I feel that's not maybe
Right.
very realistic.
Okay. Thank you
Okay.
for the question, Sweta. That's it's a very good question. But when you said a question, that is where when there is an emotional need and you're getting from a spiritual mentor. Spiritual mentor gives a spiritual need.
Mhm.
Then what is the emotional need that the spiritual mentor will give?
Okay. Yeah, so is it only
So for example, if there is a very close friend
Mm.
and he or she is a pastor,
Mm.
so what will happen at this time? And there is a problem in the family, and we share this to this a person who is a pastor as well as a friend, as also close to the family. So we have spiritual needs being cleared or emotional needs being cleared. And every time when we have something, people go to this person and they explain it.
the couple
See,
goes?
The couple goes to this person and explains it.
See, something you need to differentiate between mentoring, comfort, and needs being fulfilled. Understand?
Mhm.
Being a mentor is if Mercurius, if you're not getting your emotional need, your pastor or your pastor's wife has to talk to Shweta and tell her how to
Fulfill.
supply the emotional need to her husband,
Like
right?
a mentor. Mhm.
Right?
Like a
He
mentor.
cannot, your pastor's wife cannot give you the emotional need. You will get attached to her, and and I'm sorry to tell, if I get attached to a woman who's coming and comforting me and giving me emotional support, I'll run away with her. Right? It starts with your mind.
Mhm.
Right? It starts with your mind. Relationships starts with your mind. When I feel that I'm not getting emotional support from my wife, then I need to work on that, talk to her, and I need to see that she has to give me the emotional needs. For example, we are going to talk about these things.
So-
See, Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1 says, Adam knew his wife and Eve bore him a child. Is that sentence right? Adam knew, Knew, his wife, right? And she bore him a child. Is a sentence right or something wrong with this sentence?
Adam lay with his wife and she bore him a.
Or he had a sexual relationship with his wife and
Mhm.
she bore him a child.
But
That's
the
the right
Bible very particularly put a word called new.
new, right?
So new
New.
meaning that Adam knew the need of Eve.
Ah,
Yes.
exactly.
The Hebrew word there means that, for example, right? What did I do now?
You were thirsty and you needed water, you drank water.
Yeah, I drank water.
Before drinking water, do you know that Peter was thirsty?
Were you
No.
able to identify I was thirsty?
Yes.
No. No.
Before I took the bottle into my hands and drank water,
You will
No.
not.
no.
No.
Right. So, see, we have three basic needs: food, clothing, and shelter. There are 5 psychological needs that cannot be identified. You understand?
Mhm.
Emotional, mental, social, sexual, and spiritual. All of
Mhm.
us have these 5 needs, right?
Mhm.
But the problem is we won't be able to identify our spouse's need. But in a marriage, we need to work on the marriage so that I learn about my spouse.
We identify through the behavior.
I
Okay, I identify through the behavior because he drank water. Oh, now he's thirsty. So when he's thirsty, he behaves like this. So we identify through the behavior. But in marriage, we need to understand more. Okay, others identify through the behavior. I need to understand. Okay, okay. So that I need to put effort to understand.
Mhm.
Okay, what
That
what
takes time, right?
it
That-
takes time. It is not easy. It
Mm.
takes time. So the maturity, it is a long process. It's a journey. Okay. We are still exploring each other. 30 years of exploring each other. We never say that we understood each other.
Mhm.
I am understanding Peter. That's all.
see,
Definitely.
we had a case. We had a case. It's a different case. I want to tell you. They've been married, And after the first child, the man did not touch the wife for many years. No sexual intimacy at all. 5,
Mhm.
6 years, we tried to work on it. He said, Anna, sex is not very important in marriage. Asked him, why not? How do you say that? Right? And see, she is not satisfying me, right? Fulfilling my needs. Work on it, man. Talk to your spouse. Then you come, tell me how she's not satisfying your needs. We'll talk to, I'll tell Sally to talk to your wife, right? But what he has done is he has deviation, right? He is right homosexual.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so he cannot say my wife is not satisfying my sexual needs. I find more pleasure with another man or a transgender. Is it right?
No.
No.
Did you understand it?
Only the God is given the one and only person to enjoy with is your spouse.
Mhm.
So,
Apart from it, you cannot search.
so
But we
Adam,
can have friends, but friends with boundaries.
Mm.
Okay, that is, we surely fellowship is very important. Friends are very important. That are our social needs. We need friendship. We need friends, but our dependence more on friendship than my spouse, than my God, then there is a question.
and one more thing we want to tell you is, I told you about comfort, mentoring, and meeting the needs of my spouse, right? Mentoring, somebody helps us out. Comfort also somebody can think. Even in comforting, it's very dangerous. A girl who came for a premarital, right? And she had a problem with a spouse. Okay. That person, a husband, he also he has a deviant behavior, and her friend,
She shared with her classmate.
yeah,
Okay.
classmate who's also in the same place.
Mhm.
The person, classmate means a boy. Okay, the girl's classmate. He was comforting her, and finally the comforting ended up in bed,
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Mhm.
right? So we need to be very careful in these areas. God said only the two can become one in every area.
Not 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Right.
So the thing
So
is,
did we answer you, Mercurius and Sweta?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
welcome.
Welcome.
Any other question, children? Regarding
Yes,
covenant,
Janet, you want to say something?
regarding
No.
covenant and call and expectations. Understood?
You understood the seriousness of marriage, the sanctity of marriage?
Can I ask one more question?
Yes,
Yes,
Regarding this, it just hit my head.
Yeah.
And where do parents come?
Yeah.
Parents or in-laws come in this kind of
Yes, we are
discussion.
going to
We
teach.
will
In Indian
come to
culture,
that.
this is very common
Yeah.
that the parents and in-laws take the.
We are going to teach you that.
Okay.
We are going to come. Next session is on that.
Good.
Right?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's go into the commitment now, right? Okay. Okay. Marriage demands commitment. That's the third thing that we have put. There are many commitments.
The
right?
covenantal relationship always follows with the commitments. When God called Abraham, God said, leave your people and your country, follow me. God made a covenant with Abraham. So covenant demands commitments. So marriage covenant also demands certain commitments from us. So what are the commitments? We need to understand. So what are the commitments we have? In Genesis chapter 2, verse 18 to 25, if you read, we can see 5 commitments.
Okay.
Okay.
The 18th verse says, it's not good for a man to be alone. I'll make him a helper suitable, right? That's for friendship, for a beautiful, intimate, intricate relationship. Okay, to balance that, to get into a beautiful relationship, there are many commitments that we need to do. Okay, right. What is the first commitment? Adam, sorry. The first commitment is accepting your spouse as God's gift. This is very crucial for a Christian marriage. I need to accept my wife as God's gift to me. Adam was asked by God to name the animals. In the second in the second chapter, from 19th and 20th verse, when you read that, God asked him to name the animals. Adam was naming the animals, and it would have taken many days for him to name the animals which God had created. And as he was naming the animals, suddenly God walked with the animal walking on two legs.
No,
No,
how can you say animal?
who's that then? Who? They're looking at me like this. Who's that?
We.
No, not we. Eve. Right. Right. God walked with Eve towards Adam. Right. As soon as God walked with Eve, what did Adam tell Eve? Adam saw her and he said,
Genesis 2:23 says,
you are my bone of my bone, you are my flesh of my flesh. Right? Okay.
You
The
see-
question is, Adam was living with animals. He didn't have a mirror, right? He had not seen a human being at all, a man or a woman. But when Eve walked to him, he said, you are the bone of my bone, you are my flesh of my flesh. How was he able to recognize that this is a woman, this is my life partner? How was he able to do it? How did he recognize her as his own? You can answer now.
Maybe he knew that God created only one woman. Like,
God created only one woman. Then, any other answer?
Maybe they looked alike.
Pardon?
Maybe they looked alike. Like Adam saw someone looked like him.
Do you look? Sally does not look like me, no? Yeah,
No, not that way. But
yeah, yeah.
Was Adam able to see God before that?
Adam?
Was Adam able to see God
Hmm.
when he was walking every day? That he sees God walking her, and both are alike image. I don't know what I'm saying.
Always came near to. Okay. Made in the image of God, right? Adam was made in the image of God. It means when God made Adam, that we see in the second chapter of Genesis, he blew into his nostrils the breath of life. Breath of life means the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit, right? So Eve also was made with the same breath of God. Okay, God blew into Eve also the breath of God. So God's Spirit was inside Adam. It helped him to recognize the woman as his own. Did you understand it? Right. That's why Paul in Corinthians says, do not be yoked with an unbeliever means you need to be a believer so that you will be able to identify the person for you. This person with the same Spirit of God. Do not marry a person who do not have the Spirit of God in her or in him. Right? The Spirit of God said, this is the woman that God has made for you. Then immediately he said, you are the bone of my bone. You are my flesh of my flesh. My flesh, my bone. It means ownership. Marriage is ownership. Immediately he accepted her as God's gift. For example, right, when we were all when we came to the 5th standard, no, like that's the first time we were allowed to write with pen, ball pen. Okay, those days. Then with a fountain pen. So when we got the first ballpoint pen, we were so excited. No, we used to remove the back lid, write my name, Peter Prem Kumar, in a small strip of paper, put it inside, and close the back lid. How many of you have done that? Right? All have done that? I've done that. Why do we do that? Why did we do that?
My pen.
My pen, 2 rupees, 5 rupees only, right? My pen, I start owning it, just 2 or 5 rupees, right? And if I when I lost a pen, I searched all my friends back. I suspected all my friends. Okay, so it is my own friend. But what God is telling here, God is telling us, okay, just for the 2 rupees pen, when you lose it, like you feel so much. But God is going to give you somebody in flesh and blood, made in its own image, right? That
How
should
much
be.
more you need to own
Own.
that person? Okay, owning your spouse.
If you're given,
Your spouse as God's gift.
when you're given a big diamond, like diamonds are in half carat or 1 carat, right? 5 carats make a gram. Okay, 1 carat is only 1/5 of a gram. And if you get a stud or a earrings or a thing, ring, just this 1 carat, right? You're so careful with that. But you're given a big one that's about 50 gram size diamond, right? To get that size, it's very difficult. That's very precious. How careful you'll be with that 50-gram diamond? Will you just keep it on the table and go away? Will you be careful with the diamond? A diamond is just a stone, that's not a shining stone. Okay. We are so much bothered about the worldly things.
They're more precious than a diamond.
My spouse is more precious than a thing. So one question that I want to ask you is, right? How do parents select a spouse for you? Okay, if you have made the choice, it's okay. How do parents in our situation choose a spouse? What are the criteria, factors that plays in the selection of a spouse? Yeah, I'm asking you.
They don't know.
You don't know. Family of the spouse, then?
Grounded in word of God.
Okay. What are the criteria?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Age, beautiful,
Beauty. Yeah.
caste,
Yeah. Cash.
dowry.
Yeah.
Hmm?
So what we see is, okay, this girl comes to a church. She is a Christian. Okay. Our same church, our same denomination. Then they look for the caste. Own people. They have lots of money, status, and so much thing. Is she educated? Is he educated? And all these things. Finally, they say, okay, she's a Christian, right? That's how they look at. That's how parents choose her. And some of us also are like that. Not all of you. You're all holy people. You're not like that. Okay. So this is the criteria. Here is a person, Adam, when God brought Eve to him, he did not have any criteria. He said, Lord, this is a gift from you. I accept her as my own, right? He didn't question God at all. Lord, she doesn't have a caste. She doesn't have color. She doesn't have cash. Nothing, Lord. Lord, why only one woman did you bring? Nothing he asked. He didn't question God at all. but he was simply able to accept her as his own. You are my own, Eve. I own you and you own me. I belong to you and you belong to me. You are my beloved and I am your beloved. Okay? That is accepting your spouse as God's gift.
The first thing God demands from you after marriage is accept your spouse. Okay, this is the spouse I got. My spouse is not a perfect person. My spouse with weakness and strength. So am I. I have also weakness and strength. So both of us should accept each other as God's gift. So when you accept each other, then we will be working on weakness and strength. Okay,
Yeah.
we need to love each other so that love and forgive and love and forgive. So we build our characters. But the thing is, what happens after marriage is first 3 months we accept, or 6 months we will be accepting, or 1 year we'll be very happy about it. But after some time, Peter,
Yeah.
look at your brother.
Yeah, it's fine. What's wrong with him?
Yeah, he's earning very well.
Oh, I got the point.
What?
You're telling me my brother is earning more than I am doing.
No,
right?
no,
I'm
no,
earning.
Peter. You
Yeah.
learn from him.
Oh my God, the second point I got.
What?
First you said he's earning more than me.
Uh,
The second one is he's more brilliant. He's wiser than me.
why you are taking in a negative sense?
Yeah, you talk like that, ma.
Uh,
Okay, why are you looking at my brother?
uh,
Look at my mother. You know
what?
how well she cooks. Tasty food.
50 years she is cooking,
Whatever is it, ma.
Uh,
Right, you've been trained. My mother trained you for such a long time.
what long time? 6 months.
6 months. 6 months is more than enough. You can become a wonderful cook.
Oh, no, ma,
Fantastic.
she was cooking for 50 years.
Whatever is it. Listen to me. You're always talking.
Listening.
Right.
Hmm,
And yesterday you made biryani.
hmm.
But your biryani was like kanji, it was pouring like porridge. And what biryani you're making? You can't even learn proper biryani.
What?
How to make biryani.
The rice that you got is like that.
Don't blame the rice and all these things, okay?
It is
Right.
like that.
Right. Okay, don't pull my brother and my mother.
Uh,
Don't pull my family.
okay.
Look at the next door, the Rosie, Susie, Daisy, Praisy, Gracie, all the ladies around us. Okay?
Oh,
Ah,
that's why you're standing near the window.
yeah, I'm just admiring them, how well they take care of the husbands, Ah,
Okay.
the husbands are enjoying,
Oh,
if I
Peter,
had.
Peter, next time
Wait,
you
wait.
stand,
Listen to me.
listen. Next time you stand near the window,
Uh.
you just look at them.
Look at them.
Look at them.
Who are they? Them.
The Suresh, Ramesh, Dinesh, Viresh,
Why should I look at the men?
they're all the husbands.
Why?
Why? See how they take care of the wife.
Hey, it's not going well with us, okay?
What?
First you looked at my brother, and now you're looking at Ramesh, Suresh, Viresh, Dinesh, and all these people. Okay? What is happening here? What is happening here?
Great deal.
Great deal.
Why fight?
Why we are fighting?
You're looking at others.
Pardon?
You're comparing yourself.
Comparison. So the root cause of the problem is comparison. Okay. So why do we compare?
Because
We're
you're
not
loving.
happy with whoever we have.
You are not happy with what you have. So
You're not happy with the gift that God has given you, right? So we always compare our spouse with somebody else.
So when did this first comparison started in the Bible?
When did the first comparison take place in the Bible?
Abel and Cain.
Cain and Abel.
Before that.
Before that.
If you eat this, you will become like this. Who taught this?
Satan.
Satan
When
told
I
Eve-
compare, I am who?
I'm child of the
Child of Satan.
right.
Okay.
So
So when
comparison. See, the first fall of man
is
took
because
place.
of comparison. Okay. So the thing is, don't entertain any comparison in your marriage. In future marriage, because why we are telling you is after your marriage, see, there are very good friends, our family, or people, they will subtly bring this comparison. Hey, you studied very well, know how you are working, but your spouse is not equal to you. This word is enough. This will linger in our mind. Don't entertain such thoughts. Okay, when
So-
it comes to your mind, immediately rebuke it, Lord. You have given me a gift, Lord. I need to accept it. Okay, and then your friends will say, hey, your spouse is not up to your standard, man. Huh? So don't accept it. Okay. And you thank God, Lord, you have given a spouse. It's a gift from you, Master.
Right.
So you need to accept. So don't entertain comparison. Don't have negative comments.
Yeah.
Okay. That is very important. Here, all the boys here, you need to learn. When you look at your friends, okay, after some year, you people are working now. When you are okay,
Better.
12th standard, and then you studied your college and your degree and all these things, working. Now, when you meet your old school friends, everybody would have changed in shape and everything. Then when you look at your boys' friends, when you look at other boys, you say, hey man, what happened to your hair? Da? Hey, what happened? Your stomach is like this. You are very vocal. Okay.
Boys, it's not a problem at all. No, when we comment about our tummy and our head and all these things,
But to your wife,
don't body shame her.
don't body shame. Other boys, if you tell, it's a fun. For your wife, it is very painful. When you tell, hey, you put on weight, you are like this, why your tummy is like this? Say like that. It is very painful for her.
Guys, you made the tummy big, man.
Yeah.
Right?
So don't comment on her body. Okay, if you want your spouse to work on her weight, or if she has to
Gym.
reduce and all these things, go with her. Hey, come, let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay, don't say
Give her
that.
time to go to the gym and
Yeah.
reduce it, and you can have her like Sushmita Sen and Aishwarya Rai, and what's the other lady now? She married this
Nick Johnson.
Nick Johnson,
Deepika
Priyanka
Padukone.
Chopra and Priyanka Padukone and all these things,
Deepika Padukone.
right? But don't have something like that, man.
Mhm.
Your wife is the best gift from you, from God,
Future.
right? You know why God is asking us to do like that? Okay. For example, have you seen sculptures, statues, how they make statues? You come to Mahabalipuram, that's a place for making statues and all these things, right? For example, somebody has been asked to make a statue of an elephant, right? So a big rock is given to him. So the sculptor, he measures a rock, and in his mind he draws a picture, and he removes little by little, bit by bit, all those things which are not needed. And finally the statue of the elephant comes, right? That is how a sculptor makes a statue. This person, I forgot his name. What's his name? Michelangelo. He made the statue of David. Okay, a beautiful statue of David, and it was so natural. People could see each muscle and the action, everything. It was very natural, and this happened in 1504 or 1509. I don't know. So the people who came to see the statue asked him, Michelangelo, only you can do something like this. This is something miraculous and it's magical. Okay. How were you able to make a statue of David like this? Okay. So Michelangelo said, they gave me a a piece of marble, right? A huge rock marble. I just removed what was not David and I got David. I removed what was not David from those big, huge stone, and I got David. What we want to tell you is, right, God has given me a raw material in Sally, right, and I have been given to her as a raw material. It is my duty to remove all those things which are not Sally's by God's grace, helping her to grow into the likeness of Christ, right? Marriage is helping each other to grow into the likeness of Christ. Okay, that is, I accept her.
So the sculptor sculptured the rock or anything through chisel and everything. But here we use the chisel is love and forgiveness.
Yeah.
showing love and encouragement and forgiveness, I'm helping my spouse to grow into the likeness. So it is not pointing out the weakness and criticizing your spouse. It is showing love and forgiveness. So do not compare your spouse with anyone. Okay. So this is very important. So can you see the picture? How both husband and wife are sculpting each other?
See, I come with weaknesses and strength, and she comes with weaknesses and strength. And it is our duty to see that we remove what, with God's grace and with the gift of the Holy Spirit. And I see that she grows into the likeness of
Christ.
Christ. Okay?
Okay.
Right. The second commitment is leaving. Okay. The second commitment is leaving. The law of priority. The first commitment is accepting a spouse as God's gift. And the second commitment is your spouse is your first priority, right? There are foundational verses for priority. Okay. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24, it says, for this reason, man will leave his father and mother, right? Man will leave his father and mother. Okay. To whom is this command given? What do you think?
To whom this command is given?
To whom is this command given? For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother. To whom?
To the man.
To the man. But what happens
Who
after
leaves?
marriage?
Who
Who leaves the father and
joins?
mother?
Actually, girl leaves.
The girl comes to the
Leaves.
boys.
But the Bible says man.
Right. We always do the ulta, no? No, it's not like that man leaving the father and mother or the girl leaving the father and mother, but it's a command for priority, right? For the girl, for the girls, it says in Psalm 45 and verse 10, it says, listen, O daughter, consider and give ear. Forget your father's people and your father's house.
Forget
Right?
your people and your father's house.
Right. See, there are two different verbs used, one for the man and one for the woman. For the man, it says, leave your father and mother. For the girls, it says, forget your father, forget your people and your father's house. Right. What is the meaning of leaving? What is the meaning of leaving? Right. It says to set free, to give up the right, or to relinquish, to abandon, or to leave behind. The command to the man and to the woman is to set free your parents, or for the parents to set free the children, to abandon your children or to abandon your parents, right? But we cannot take that literally. We need to go deeper into the word of God and go and understand the root word of the word, meaning root word for the word leave. Okay, all right. Again, another two foundational verses that I want to tell you is, okay, throughout the scripture, God utilizes marriage as a metaphor to convey his love towards his chosen people, Israel, right? And Christ's love for the church, right? Unless we understand God's love for his people and Christ's love for his church, we cannot draw principles for the husband and wife relationship, right? Marriage is compared to God's relationship with Israel and Jesus's relationship with the church. Unless we understand that relationship, we cannot understand the relationship between your spouse and yourself, right? And the foundational verses for leaving is in Deuteronomy, it says, Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2 says, I am the Lord your God, and you shall have no other gods before me. I have marked some important phrases in red, okay? You shall have no other gods before me, or an idol in any form, or you shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord, your God, am a jealous God. Okay, this is a foundational verse for Christians, right? I am the Lord your God, and you shall not have any other gods besides me. The relationship between God and Israel, that God told to the Israelites, okay, listen, people, I have made you for me, and you shall not have any other gods besides me. Were the Israelites faithful to God? No. They went on worshipping other gods. God was disturbed and he said, no, my people, I made you for me.
I'm a jealous God.
How can you leave me and go and worship other gods? I'm a jealous God. I'm hurt. Right? The same thing God calls for total allegiance to him. That means total commitment or loyalty. That's why in Psalm 86 and verse 11, David sings like this: Lord, give me an undivided heart. Lord, give me an undivided heart. It means let me surrender to you totally. Not a little bit of my heart can be given to anybody else. You shall not have any other gods, right? That's a kind of loyalty God wants from us. And the same loyalty God is requiring in this relationship, right? Priority. But my priority is for my spouse is not above God. That is a spiritual priority, right? Here on earth, right? My spouse is above everybody else, above my parents, above my sisters and brothers, above my children, above my friends, above my career. You understand? That's the meaning of priority. Okay, let's come back to the word leave and forget. Why did God say leave for the man and forget for the woman? For my wife, for Sally, when we got married, it was easy for her to leave her parents and follow me, but she was not able to forget certain things. She left something very important in her house. What is the important thing she left at home? It's a heart, right? She followed me, she came with me, but she was not able to bring her heart with me. If she failed to bring her heart with her in this relationship, we cannot become one with each other. Understand? For her,
How do I react in that is, Peter,
yeah,
you know my father?
yeah, he's a great man.
My papa, you see, my papa is a great person.
Oh, you're
He's
super
a
great.
very loving person.
Yes, loving.
No one will get a papa like that.
Oh, yo, don't want. I don't want.
You know my mama?
Yes, your
My
mama.
mommy is so great. You
You're
know?
another great person.
Yeah. She is very pious
Yes.
and very loving.
Your brothers and sisters are all great people, no?
Yeah, you don't like all of them.
Yeah, I like them because what to say?
See, no one will be like my parents and my people, no?
Yeah.
And my church also, the Christmas is so nice, you know,
Yeah.
the choir and the celebration and the Christmas food that we make and all those things are entirely different. The way we celebrate is entirely different, you know.
So you don't like the food that my mother makes?
Okay, but my parents, that cooking, that
your
was
father is great, your mother is great, your brother, all such great people.
Yeah.
So I have a doubt now, after so many years of being married. Why did you marry me, man? You should have stayed in your father's house itself.
That's what I was thinking, you know.
Okay, let's ask the young people here. What will be your reaction if your wife future wife keeps on saying, my father is like that, my mother is like, my father took care of me, my mother was like this, your mother is like that, and all these things. If she makes complaint, come on, guys, talk. What will be your reaction? Irritated, yeah. Then
guys are not talking. What will be your reaction? We are asking. Come on, guys.
Would you have a question of am I good enough?
Yeah.
Silence.
Huh? Right.
So
see,
you feel very jealous.
Yes, there'll be a fear. The fear will creep into you, right? My wife is always like looking at her father and her parents
She
or
gives
something.
importance to them only. I am not important for her.
She's
You
not
feel
respecting
bad.
me.
See, for example, very simple example, you will understand this. We are friends. Okay, college, we are friends. Okay, just imagine that we are studying in college, we are friends, best friends. Peter,
Yeah,
we are friends, no?
yeah, yeah.
Everybody is jealous of our friendship,
Yes, yes, yeah.
But you know, my 10th standard friend, I cannot forget,
Your 10th standard friend.
Ah,
Something
oh,
better than
our
our
friendship was so great,
something better than our friendship now. Huh?
No. My 10th standard friend, everybody will say that we are thick friends.
Chepa, who wants you? Right? Right?
So when I glorify the previous the relationship, my new friend will feel very bad. Okay. So what should I do? I have to bring my heart here to love my spouse.
So we saw the foundational verse.
Okay.
I am the Lord your God. You shall not have any other gods besides me, for I am a jealous God, right? God, when the Israelites did not worship and they started following other gods, God said, I am a jealous God. I'm irritated when you go and follow other people. That is why marriage is compared to his relationship with Israel and Jesus' relationship with the church. When we go astray from Jesus Christ, he is hurt. In the same way, when my wife does not give me the priority, when she does not give me the importance, then I feel jealous. A fear creeps into me. She loves her parents, she loves her people more than me.
No, Peter, it's not only that.
Mm,
You know,
mm.
what my father says only we have to do.
Really?
Ah.
Oh, get lost then. Okay.
No. My father says what.
No. This is not going to happen. This is not going to work at all.
Peter,
Oh,
even your salary, no.
Yeah.
We have to give to my father. He will invest.
Huh?
Yeah.
My salary I have to give to your father and he'll invest. Huh?
My father is a good investor.
Ah, really?
Mm.
Okay. Go. We cannot live like this. You go to your father's house.
Why you are saying like that?
Yeah.
What's wrong
And
with
you think that your father is great, huh?
Bible says honor your parents.
So the fight comes because when she thinks that the father is
Come on, guys, what you will feel if your future spouse says like that?
You feel like you're not the head
You're
of the family anymore.
You're not the family anymore.
Yeah.
You're not the head of the family.
You are
You're
not the head of the family.
family.
Okay.
Right. Now,
Then, Shiva,
How many things I have did? Still, she is praising her family only.
how
Yeah.
many things I'm doing? Still, she's praising her family. Disrespected. Somebody disrespected. Okay.
oh yeah.
Okay. Now we will put ulta. Okay.
In case, in everything I say, I only.
Peter,
Hmm.
Mummy is poking nose in everything,
Huh?
Mummy is poking nose.
What is that poking nose, star?
See, whatever I do, your mummy is not happy.
Huh?
She's always shouting at me.
Irritating you.
Irritating me.
Mm.
See, what the way I do things, no.
Yeah.
She says that that's not the way. This is what my son like. I know about my son, as if that I should not know you and I should not serve you, and she only knows that I want to do everything.
Really?
Mm.
Okay. Right.
And she says that see, I am stealing you from her.
Really? Okay. Ma, she's an elderly lady. She's above 60, right? You are a young woman. Okay. You need to make some adjustment, Just leave her just like that, okay?
Oh. So for me means you can give a lot of advice that I need to adjust.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. See, you're making a complaint, okay? And in case I go and shout at her and fight with her, suddenly she dies because of the shock. Yeah, all the blame will come on me and you only. You're going to live in guilty.
So I am only cause of her death.
No. If she dies, what will happen, no?
Oh, I have to wait till her death for all.
No, don't wait till her death, okay, and
Ah.
all these things. I'm telling you, make some, okay, she's an elderly lady, respect her, no.
Then why don't you understand my father? My father also elderly person, no?
Yeah.
Why
right.
don't you understand him?
Let's ask the young girls here. Huh? Let's ask the young girls here. What will be your reaction?
When your future husband says, adjust with my mother, and my mother is an old lady, and she's like that, and she whatever she says is right.
Will you be happy here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So come on, boys, when you felt irritated, disrespected when I said that my father is very important. Because your future wife says that her father is important, you felt like that. In the same way, your future wife will feel disrespected, unloved, and irritated when you say that my mother is important.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sometimes, no, like we
For
have seen,
all of us, the parents are very important. Okay.
yeah,
Not
we have seen cases where the parents' involvement, like the influence or the involvement into the young couple's life, has been very, very big, and it has ruined the lives of young people. One young girl who got married recently for 3 months. After 3 months, she came and said, Akka Anna, I feel lonely in this relationship because the mother comes and pokes her nose into everything. Okay. For example, no, like வெளிய போறேன். நம்ம விட்டு வெளிய போலாமான்னு.
oh
Yeah.
Peter,
Yeah.
can we go out?
Yeah, da.
Go
Yes.
for a dinner and come back.
Yes, yes.
See, we should have a date night, no?
Yeah, da.
Let's go and
Oh,
have
date
it.
night.
Ah,
Fantastic, da.
Yeah.
Yeah, first we'll go to the beach, right? Then after that we'll have dinner.
Yes, yes. I'm
Yeah.
so happy.
I am also happy, no?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing, no?
Ah,
Right. It'll be very exciting if we take our parents with us, no? For the
date.
date night. Okay, they'll also enjoy with us. Yeah?
I'm not coming. You take your parents with you and go.
Right. Okay. The mother always troubles the young man, the husband. Okay. Whenever you go out, you also take us, right? I want to be with you. I want to sit next to you in the car. And so much of disturbance. She will not allow the young wife to sit next to the husband.
So children, don't mistake us. We have to take our parents out. We
Yeah.
have to give them importance and all those things. But see, all the time with your spouse, it's not nice. Your spouse also need your private time. Okay. So we need to prioritize and keep boundaries, that where to draw a line you should know. After marriage, your spouse become your first priority. So here is where covenant relationship, whether my husband's parents or my parents, they are pulling, if my parents pulling me towards
Yes, sir.
themselves, and my husband's parents pulling him towards themselves, then they are not only creating havoc between us. Okay, they are not only creating havoc between us, they are hurting God. What will happen when they hurt God?
See, the goal of marriage is to become
Hebrews 2, 11, 10, 29 and 30th says, I am a jealous God. God said that I will take revenge. So because God is mindful of marriage institution, he hates that somebody is breaking this marriage. He hates that. So we should not allow our parents to interfere more into our marriage.
The goal is.
So how do we do that?
Yeah. So the goal is
Two
becoming one, right? The man and his wife becoming one. Not the mother becoming one with the son, or the father becoming one with the daughter, or the mother becoming one with the daughter, right? Or no 3 or 4 people can become one. God's command is only we two should become one, so that we'll be a replica of the triune nature of God. When our parents start interfering, and when my parents start pulling me towards them and Sally's parents pull towards them, we are separated. The more we get like distance from each other, we get distance from God also, right? God is out there. God is out there. Okay. If my parents try to separate us, separate me from my spouse, I'll tell you, they will be cursed by God. Sorry for using such harsh words, hard words. It's a punishment. God will not only punish them, He'll also punish me for going with them and not becoming one with my spouse. Understand? If my parents are doing it, they'll be punished. If our parents are interfering and separating us, God will punish our parents.
If I want to bless my parents,
If I want to bless my parents,
we need to obey God's command.
commands.
God's commandment says, the husband and wife, you two shall become one. So how to become one? How to set priorities? Always signal to your parents and sisters and brothers or whoever are there, you are one. How to signal that? Okay. After marriage, if parents ask you something, okay, you tell me now, okay, what are the decisions that you have taken for your holidays? Or what are you going to do with your arrears money or whatever it is? Immediately don't tell the answer. Okay, wait. Give me some time. Always tell your parents, give me some time.
Right.
Okay.
The
Why you are
problem-
asking, give me some time? You discuss with your spouse and both decide what to tell to parents.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you tell what is needed for parents. You don't need to tell everything to parents. Okay. You discuss with your spouse, okay, these are the things that we are going to do. Okay, we will tell the parents these things.
Even holidays, sometimes immediately if I get a month holiday, I'll call my parents, mommy, I'm coming back home, right? We have a 1 month holiday. What will my mother advise? Okay, da, 1 month holiday, 25 days you stay here and 5 days you can go to your in-laws place, right? Will my wife be happy about that?
Why did you tell your parents that we have 1 month holiday?
Ayo, I told them, they told me to be there. They already booked the
You should
tickets.
discuss with me, no, Peter, first.
Next holiday we'll see.
What? I don't want to come for this holiday. I'm going to do something else.
Okay. See, whatever decision you're taking, whatever you want to plan, tell your
Plan
spouse
with
first.
your spouse.
Tell your spouse first, plan together, and tell your plan to your parents. This is how we have planned, right? Always signal to everyone, that is including your parents, sister, brothers, relatives, friends, colleagues, pastors, children, that we are one, right? And my top priority is my spouse, right? Whatever is it, support each other right?
In case you are going to live in a joint family, then at least every 15 days once, you go for a small mini honeymoon.
Mini honeymoon
That is
means
3 hours or 5 hours like that.
right.
Okay, go out and spend time with your spouse because your spouse needs quality time.
Yeah.
Okay, pour out to each other.
So we do that regularly, once in 15
We
days.
lived as a joint family. 10 years we lived as a joint family. So we take time and go out and we spend time so that we can talk more, because at home we'll not get time to talk much.
We used to do at least once in a week,
Yeah.
like 2 to 3 hours. We just go out without anybody. We'll leave our children with our parents, right? We'll go to the place where we like, the hotel that we like. We just sit there, right? Look at each other's eyes, then romance, right? And this is how we can cultivate romance, right?
Then seek personal issues between you and your spouse. Okay, keep the personal issues. See, for example, I'm angry with Peter. Some issue. Okay, I'm angry with Peter. But living in a joint family, I should not show to the parents that I'm angry with Peter.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to settle between, because if I show to them, then they will be starting influencing me. No, my son is not like that. No, and Peter also should not go and tell them, oh, today we had a fight. You don't need to tell. You don't need to tell that you had a fight or you had a discussion, all those things. You had a discussion, you had a fight, you came to a reconciliation, you forgive each other, keep it within yourself.
Right. try to settle the issue between yourself, okay? Unless it is a life-threatening matter.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you find that your spouse is homosexual or lesbian, there's no relationship happening, or some kind of abuse, right? Abuse. Then abuse means it should not be extreme abuse. Okay, right? Any kind of abuse is not good, but you can change your spouse. But extreme abuse is only where your life is being threatened. You got to involve your parents or your pastor and all these things. Otherwise, try to settle it yourself. Right? Respect your spouse's wish over your parents' wish. Okay. For example, we want to buy a car. My father says, I have experience. I owned car for the past 40 years. Okay. So you buy this one. But
No,
no,
Peter.
no,
Kia, we will buy Kia.
Kia.
Mm.
Oh, no. My father says Maruti is the best one. Okay. We're going for Maruti. Okay. I buy. So I listen to my father, buy Maruti. Maruti is a good car. Okay. But in case, as we travel somewhere for a picnic and the car somewhere fails. Okay. What will happen there?
It's all your father's advice.
Yeah?
That's why we are struggling like
That's
this.
all, right? The decision should be ours, right? Okay. Never criticize each other to our parents. Okay, at the next.
When your spouse is not there, don't over the phone, don't criticize about your spouse to your parents.
Right.
Okay. And parents love to advise because they are older people. They love to tell many things to children. They love to advise, listen. But whatever is the thing that we can discuss, we can agree together and take decision. But the thing is, everything, whatever say that we don't need to take a decision.
Don't
Okay?
tell your parents, no, I'm going to take a decision with my wife. I'm going to take a decision with my husband, right? Listen to them respectfully, okay? Then, but the decision should come from us, okay? Then seek to keep personal issues between you and your spouse.
As far as possible, visit parents together.
Right.
Okay, that is important.
Yeah.
See, don't say that, okay, your house, no, you go and come back.
Yeah.
So go with your spouse. That is important.
One
Make
thing is-
time for in-laws because that is also important. Your in-laws want to spend time with you, especially boys. Please talk to your in-laws. Okay. So what they do is after marriage, they won't talk to in-laws. Hello. That's all. They won't communicate with the in-laws. Okay, you have to communicate.
Become a friend with your
in-law.
father-in-law and mother-in-law, right?
Okay. And girls also talk to your in-laws. Seek to function as a financially independent unit from your gift. So that is very important.
It's better to give to our parents rather than to receive money from our
Okay,
parents.
nowadays you are earning, maybe you are giving full salary to your parents. After marriage, you cannot do like that. You have to separate something for your family and then only you can give something for your parents. So that is important. Develop your own social circle. That is important. Small strategy while gifting is when we give some gifts for our parents, that is for Peter's mother and father, I have to go and give. Peter
We buy the gift together, but when the gift is given, she's the one, she'll go and she'll take the gift and give to mommy, papa, have this gift for you.
To my parents, Peter should do that.
Right?
So we are showing them that we are one in financial decision.
Not only that, my spouse loves my parents. That is a signal by Sally giving the gift to my parents. It shows a signal that she loves them too. I love her parents too, right? It brings the relationship closer, right?
So when you are away from parents, make a phone call to your parents regularly, especially when your spouse is there. Whenever you speak phone calls, put it on a loudspeaker.
Yeah.
Okay, and speak. There is no secret. What secret we are going to speak?
Right.
Okay.
Another thing, even in the phone call is, right, that this is what we practice, okay? I make a call to a parent's house, talk to a father and mother for a long time, then I say, okay, Sally, talk to your parents, right? So my father-in-law and mother-in-law, they started loving me so much, right? It is my son-in-law who's making the call. It is my daughter-in-law who's making the call. That makes a big difference. That strengthens the bondage in the family, right?
Bonding between her parents
In-laws
and
and children. Okay. Yeah.
your parents and in-laws must feel loved, wanted, and needed. Okay. So demonstrate in words and practical ways to care our parents. Keep smiling, it makes a difference. See, especially for elderly people, when we get old, okay, well, we have also a son-in-law. When we come to 50, 55, 60 years, and this kind of this age, we are also weakening in our physical body.
Mm.
So then there is a weakening on a physical body, our knees are aching, our legs are not working according to our wish. So we are upset and grumpy, okay, inside. Why my body is like this? Why my body is paining like this? So we are grumpy inside. So when we sit as a grumpy person or sitting and thinking and not smiling, my son-in-law or my daughter-in-law should not think that I am grumpy towards them. No, it is my own personal problem. Okay. So children, remember this. When you see your in-laws are sitting little grumpy, it is not always they are angry at you. Sometimes they are upset about themselves. Okay. You smile at them. Okay. That makes a lot of difference.
Sometimes, no, like maybe not. We pray that all of you will get good in-laws, right? But sometimes they're also human beings. They have, as they age, as she said, body ache, the physical ailment, and so many things, upset, depressions will take place. Okay. So they might show some faces also. Don't, but let them show faces. It's their face, right? You girls, especially, you're going to live with your husbands in your husband's house, right? In case your mother-in-law, father-in-law show face, don't retaliate. Don't show them face again, right? They're like your parents. Let them show any kind of face. I tell Sari, okay, ma, you said my mother's face went like this. It's a face that let it go in any angle, any direction, okay? But you smile at them. And she kept this principle. Whenever they showed face, she smiled at them. Okay. And finally, what happened is my parents started loving her more than right? More than me. Okay.
And also another strategy is my in-laws, all of them, four Peter's parents and my parents, we took care of them. Four people, we took care of them. The thing is, when my mother-in-law was sick and she was paralyzed for 6 years, she had a Parkinson syndrome. She was bedridden and she was on wheelchair. And because of Parkinson syndrome, she cannot talk much, so she cannot communicate. So when she sees a new person or known person coming home, she wants to talk but she cannot talk, so she will cry. So when she sees a person, she will cry like that,
She's excited and
she will cry. So what will the new person will think, or people who are visiting will think? They will think that, oh, the daughter-in-law is not taking care of the mother-in-law, so this sickly person is crying. But my husband knows that. Okay. Whenever my mother-in-law cries and when he hear that voice of my mother-in-law, he won't immediately run to his mother. He comes to me and he gives me a hug and says that, Sally, I know that why mommy is crying. It is not because of you. Don't feel bad.
because she feels hurt.
He gives me more confidence. That confidence gave me he gave me so much of assurance that gave me the confidence to take care of my in-laws. Okay. So that is very important. You husband and future, you both have to give each other the confidence that I am there with you. Okay. Your darling mother can be a devil to your
Wife.
wife.
The darling mother
Your,
can be there to your husband.
my
Also.
darling father My dear father can be a devil to my husband also. So when my husband says that your father is behaving like this, I don't like it, I
Accept
should
it.
not support my father. I should say that, Peter, I am with you. Okay? I should support my husband.
Okay. Any questions in that law of priority?
You understood how to take care of all the parents? Mercury and Shweta asked the question. Are you clear?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Really
yes,
very
detailed.
in detail. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Rashmi?
I had a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I am a single child. So how, as a single child, do I maintain like my parents' side as well as my spouse side?
As a single child, I maintain my parents. So this is where see, from childhood, nowadays, single child, 2 children, home and all, it's a practice that children are not having much friends. They share everything to parents. Is it not so? It is so. Okay. So they develop such a kind of a bonding. After marriage, suddenly this person is sharing only to the husband, not to the parents. Parents feel very threatened.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we teach for the children is, okay, share all the outer things to your parents. Mama, we went for eating, we did this cooking, and we had, I saw this color dress and all this. See, the thing is, which is all outer things. Okay? Don't share any inmost things. What's happening between you? Okay? And then by the time end of the conversation, mama, we are done time, we will, I have some work, and then stop. So the mama and papa, they got used to your sharing. When they hear something from you, they will be happy. Okay. If they are not hearing anything only, they will be poking nose. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Understood? So
Sure.
if they hear something from you, okay, even I tell my daughter, okay, what did you eat? What did you cook?
What did your husband say?
I should not say that. I should not ask. Okay. So what did you cook? That is all peripheral things. Cooking, eating, and all those things. But the inner things that don't share. Okay. Unless and until, as Peter said, there are certain criteria that you need to share. Okay. When there is abuse, when there is a life-threatening situation, when there is a deviation that you see in the marriage. Okay. That time, share it with, see, first thing that we say is share it with a counselor or a mentor first, and then share it with parents.
Right.
Because sometimes certain things you can set right. See, we know we in premarital like this. I think 10 years before in a premarital, we told the same thing. So one girl got married, and husband is not having sexual relationship with her. He was avoiding her. So then she called us and told us that this is what happening. Within a month that she told. And then we spoke to her, and we spoke to her husband too. He was also open. And then we suggested some doctors. We visited. Then, the thing is, it was treatable thing. He was treated, and then he's very well. They both started the relationship very good, and they have 2 kids, and their relationship is going good. The thing is, if she would have shared with the parents immediately, the parents would have got threatened, and oh, my daughter's life is in a difficult thing. They would have taken in a different direction. Okay. First thing, share it with mentor or a counselor. See that whether you can set right things, then share it with parents.
Okay. One more thing is, right. we need to support our parents, right? Maybe financially. Whose parents we have to take care of financially?
Bible also says honor your parents.
Whose parents?
Both the sides. Both the sides.
Yes, both the parents. We need to understand the
But
meaning.
from
Yes, Shiva?
boy said no, sir.
Shiva, what Shiva? You said
No,
something?
I to my parents and she to her parents.
Oh, oh no, it shouldn't be
It's
like
not
that.
right to my, see, us, we need to support
See,
both the parents.
see, uh, what is the meaning of son-in-law, daughter-in-law? Son-in-law means I become a son in a home, in a house,
Son by law.
right?
Okay.
And she
According
becomes
to law, he becoming son here, I become son, daughter
in
there.
my house, right? She becomes a daughter here. Now, I have more privilege in her house, right? And she has got more privilege in my house. Now tell me how many fathers and how many mothers we have?
Two.
Two
Two
fathers.
fathers and two mothers, right? When you have privilege, when you become the CEO of a company, you're not given a throne to sit and you don't have any work, right? Is it so like that? No. When you become the CEO of the company, everything is on your head. You have so many responsibilities. When I become a son-in-law, I'm given the privilege of a son in a house. It carries responsibilities, right? It carries responsibilities of taking care of a father and mother too, not only my parents.
So when you think of buying gifts, when it comes to Christmas, okay, especially Rafi said, I am a only child. So the thing is, when you think of Christmas, say, hey, let's go for a Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. I thought of buying gift for my father and mother.
What?
For my father and mother alone, only.
Oh. Then immediately, usually, boys listen, usually girls immediately will not talk. Why are you not buying my parents? Immediately they will be internalizing things. Oh, so you're not caring for my parents. So if I'm not going for a job, I'll think I will go for a job, my salary I will get. Or if I'm working, okay, I will get for my parents. So the individuality habit, that selfish habit will start. Okay. Instead of telling that, what shall we do?
Right.
Hmm?
Okay, let's get dress for both the parents.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Right.
So the thing is, both of us, and after marriage, we need to, when you think of parents, remember that two mothers and two fathers. But when you buy gifts and give to fathers and mothers and help them, another strategy you should know that what we are giving to Peter's parents, we should not tell to this parent. What we are giving to this parent, my parent, we should not tell to Peter's parent. Okay. We actually, without knowing everything, no, mommy, you want to see what we are going to give them? It will be a big issue. Don't do that. Okay.
Right. So this is what has happened in our house, right? We took care of both the parents. Right. Right. Okay. The next commitment is marriage requires hard work.
That is, husband will leave the father and mother, and then leave. After that, the verse says, cleave to his wife. Okay.
Right? The Greek word and the Hebrew word says, the meaning of cleave means to catch by pursuit or to glue, cement, so that you'll be totally united together. Right? For example, you take two papers, apply glue, stick both the papers, dry it, and you try to separate them. What happens?
Both the papers will tear.
Yeah, a part of this paper will stick to this paper. A part of this paper will tear and come and stick to this paper. So marriage means permanent, right? Marriage means permanent. For marriage to be permanent, right? Marriage cannot be broken, he said. Marriage to be permanent. You need to put on hard work.
The cleave means catch by pursuit. The Lord put a word pursuit. Pursuit means what?
You don't give up on your marriage, right? That's why he said marriage works on unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. If you love me only, I love you. It's not like that. I will take the role of Christ and I'll start loving you. I'll start loving you, keep on loving you till you're satisfied and you're not able to keep that love of Christ inside you, and you'll start giving back to me, right? Love is something which is not selfish.
Okay.
You give.
Okay. Now we will ask the engaged couples. Okay. Those who are engaged couples here, Mercury and Sweta, and Robin and
I come and
Robin and Yamini.
Yamini.
I think Yamini, I think so.
It's Shiva and Yamini, and we are not engaged.
Shiva. Okay, okay. Okay. Now you,
Sorry, Shiva.
no, sorry, Shiva.
It's Robin and Sharmi.
Robin and Shirley. Okay.
Sharmi.
Shirley. Okay. Okay. So now we want to ask you, how after engagement, how you are trying to, you will be showing your how to show love, or you will show that how you care for each other. What are the ways, practical ways that you are showing? You tell us.
By gifts first.
By gifts. Okay. Then
So we try to spend time by praying,
try to spend time by praying.
We're talking about like something that what we found was teamwork could help a lot in doing to each other.
So
And,
quality time. Okay.
quality time and teamwork in discussing about the Bible.
Yeah.
And something like in terms of gifts. We wanted to buy something that we can grow together, so we started buying plants.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes, this.
Thank you. Then what else? Okay, we got gifts, we got quality time.
Others.
One more thing I think we do is we also go out with friends. It may be other friends or church friends, and just spend an evening together. And so
Yeah.
with
That's also quality.
That's
not
also quality time. That's
No,
also spending time. Okay.
And then we the one thing that we also do is like we are working people, and it's very much recommended to know about what's going on at work, and also try to encourage them in the
And
workplace.
appreciation.
Appreciation,
Okay.
exactly.
So appreciate each other.
Yes.
Okay, now we got 3: appreciation, quality time, and gifts. Then
like
Just
to hold
helping-
hands and walk the path.
just helping each other in
helping each other. So
Acts of service.
acts of service. And when we meet, no, we like to hold hands. So physical touch.
Right. Don't have too much of physical touch before your marriage. That's we don't recommend. But in a marriage, these 5 things are very important. This is called love language, right? Quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation or appreciation, then physical touch, and gifts, right? So this happens before marriage. When you're dating or when you're engaged, you like to please each other. But on the way after marriage, your task is completed, right? We start ignoring our spouse's love language.
But you should know that these 5 things you have to do after marriage. That is what called catch by pursuit. You have to continuously do this so that your love and romance will increase in our marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. So we asked, I think somebody asked a question that, can you please repeat what are we discussing right now? Janet is asking that we are, so the discussion is how we are showing love If we are, okay, when we got engaged, we are asking engaged couples how they are showing love. Or so, but the thing is, now we will do because this is the only person I have to show that person that somehow that I am the
After-
only one. Okay. But
I want to please her. I want to please him. No?
yeah, but after marriage, this should be our criteria. We should do these things repeatedly to each other till our death. Okay. So this is what called love language. We need to understand the language of our spouse. Okay. Appreciation, touch, gifts, acts of service, and quality time. Among the five, one will be priority for your spouse.
Right.
You need to understand.
All the five are needed,
Needed.
but one will be the top priority. Maybe some people like receiving gifts, right? Some people like to be served. Okay. Some people like to spend more time with their spouse, right? That can be 40% or 50%, the rest 10, 15%. Okay. So this is how the love language works. So you need to learn the emotional need of your spouse. Okay. And do it according to the needs.
Okay, that is
That
what-
is pursuit. Pursuit means you don't give up. You work hard on your marriage, right? Okay. The next commitment is,
and then add, okay, for this reason, man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one. So becoming one is the fourth commitment. Okay, that is a goal of marriage. That's a fourth commitment. Okay, that's a fourth commitment, God says. Okay, so to become one, physically, we need to become one emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and socially. So here we are going to see physical intimacy that God has given us a gift. So it is a gift from God. It is not we invented this. Okay, physical intimacy is not human invention. It is God who designed our private part. Okay, and God designed it and given it in marriage so
a
that,
particular purpose.
yeah.
A great gift from God.
So to be enjoyed between husband and wife, and also it is a blessing from God for procreation. Okay, it is not only for procreation, it is also for procreation.
In 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and from verse 2 to 5, it says, it's a gift that God blesses. First of all, it starts like this. The second verse goes like this. Because
There is so much of immorality.
There's so much of immorality. Paul starts like this. Since there's so much of immorality, right? What is he meaning? What does he mean by it? Since there's so much of immorality, each man should own his wife, and each woman should own her husband, right? Let's learn from part by part, okay? Since there's so much of immorality. 2000 years back in Corinth was a place for this immorality, okay? Worship of the god of Corinth and sex went hand in hand. If you're going to worship the god of Corinth, right, you have to have sex with a prostitute. Whether it's a married man or a bachelor. So worship and sex went together. So they got confused. Why in Christianity, sex is not allowed with the worship? So Paul is writing, right? This is immoral. So he says, you have to own a woman. That is, you have to take a woman by marriage, and only after that you can have sex with her or sex with him. Okay, so God hates premarital sex. Okay, so he says, so owning your thing. So you cannot rent or you cannot lease a woman or a man to have sex. Okay, and the third verse
So now
says,
comes the question that Adam and Eve got married.
Where they married, Adam and Eve.
When they married, some say that they have a live-in relationship.
Some youngsters asked us, Adam and Eve, they were not married. God walked with Eve and
Left
gave
her in the Garden of
and
Eden.
gave it to Adam. Adam and Eve just enjoy.
They
right?
had a live-in relationship in the Garden of Eden. What do you say, Vinit, Daniel? Is it they got married or not? Yes, for what? What? Nobody is answering. You have to say something. Yes or no?
Yes, I think
I think they got married. No, I think. Okay. You have to say yes or no. No thinking.
Maybe they are married. No,
Married. They had a covenant.
yes, they had a covenant where.
Okay, now let's see.
If you read
Genesis
chapter 2 and verse 22,
22.
22, it says, right? God made man, and out of the rib of the man, he made woman and he brought her to him, right? What was the status there? God made man and he took the rib out of the man and made the woman. The status was man and woman, right? Now let me read the 24th verse for you. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife. The status has changed.
When did they become man and wife?
When were they married? Read the 23rd verse. It says, the man said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man, right? This is my man. He openly proclaims in the presence of God, yes, Lord, you have made her from a rib and you walked with her to me and you have presented her to me, right? I accept her as a gift from you and now she's my wife, right?
So when Adam publicly declared the vow, God declared that you are married. For this reason, this is starting 24th verse. For this reason. When Bible verse starts for this reason, for what reason? We have to ask the question.
See, therefore, a man, when the word therefore comes, we should ask a question, wherefore? Why for? Right? Because God said, therefore, a man shall leave, right? Wherefore means, because Adam proclaimed, she is my wife, I take her as my wife in the presence of God, right? We believe that Adam and Eve had a very beautiful destination wedding, no? The Garden of Eden, right? Rivers were there, animals were there, the host of angels would have sung for them. What a beautiful wedding. Yeah, Mercurius, some doubt here.
Yes.
You said that Adam proclaimed that Eve is his the woman's wife, right? But where did Eve proclaim that Adam is his husband?
Right. That's a good question. Right. It was, I don't know why it's not meant in the Bible. Sometimes in some places, the Bible is silent about certain things, right? But here is a man, he takes the initiative to accept her as his gift and as his wife, right?
I understand.
Yeah, as his wife. There are certain areas where the Bible is silent also, right? But it is understood that he would have proclaimed also.
The order of service is taken from all our marriage order of service. When you see the order of service, it is Genesis chapter 2, 22 to 25. The order of service are taken. Okay, if you see that in church, the father walking with the bride, okay, bringing the daughter to the altar, and the man will be standing there. So before the daughter comes there, the man will be there. Okay. So it is in the same way the Adam was there, God brought
in the same fashion, like God walked with the girl, and they'll ask, who's the man who's going to hand over this girl to the to this man, right? The father hands over the girl to the man, right?
Yes.
Right.
And now the man declares that this is my bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. So the thing is, where the Bible was silent, so that the biblical leaders, they took, okay, when man declared this, they understood that the woman would have also the I do. She would said that I do. So this again the vow, okay, same vow made for a woman to tell the man also.
Right. Then, yeah.
And then immediately after saying wow, the priest will say, now I declare that according to the church rule and
The law of the land.
I declare them husband and wife. The same way God declares them that for this reason, man will leave his father and mother, cleave to his wife, and they shall become one. So that's the order of service, and
That
the
we
same
follow.
thing that we all follow in our church.
Right.
Oh, this is nice analogy, actually. Actually, I never thought about this. This is really good. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Great.
God bless. Okay. Then it is a gift that blesses. In Genesis chapter, First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse. Can one of you read that if you have the Bible with you?
1 Corinthians verse 7, verse 3 says, let me take.
Let us open the Bible. I hope you all have the Bibles with you. Right.
3. Husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband.
It's a command from God that man should have sexual, and the man and the woman should fulfill each other's
Sexual
sexual
intimacy.
needs, right? And it is also the duty of the man and the woman to fulfill the duty. I mean, the needs.
So
right?
being dull is sin. Okay. Being dull, okay, not fulfilling each other sexual intimacy is sin.
Right.
God says we have to fulfill.
Yeah. And the fourth verse says, right,
The wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. And in the same way, husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to his wife.
Right? Okay. Putting the third and the fourth verse together, it means in the old King James Version, a word called benevolence is used.
See how
Husbands, right? Husbands, render your body as a benevolence to your wife, and so the wives render your body as a benevolence to the husband. Benevolence means a gift that blesses, right? Husband, give your body as a blessing, a gift that blesses your wife, right?
So my body is given to me as a gift to my husband. So my body is given to me to bless my husband.
My body has been given as a gift to bless my wife, right?
So sexual intimacy, the world view is different from biblical view. The world view says sexual intimacy means I am getting pleasure.
Right.
It is my pleasure.
So see,
but the Bible says it is a blessing that you are giving.
It is a feeling and an emotion that whenever you want, with whomever you want, with a man or a woman or with an animal also, you can have sex. That's what the world teaches us, right? But here, the Bible says, your body does not belong to you. It first of all belongs to the Almighty Holy God. And secondly, your body belongs to your spouse, right? So keep it holy.
So I am the owner of my husband's body.
And I am the owner of my wife, right? So but I also have the duty to see that I fulfill my wife's needs. I need to pleasurize her. She needs to pleasurize me. This is when I pleasurize her 100% and I get it in return 100%, right? This is what the Bible talks about. It's not my own pleasure. My duty is to see that she gets all sexual needs fulfilled. And she needs to see that I am fulfilled, right? And so we complement each other with our body. So sex means I am showing my love. I'm showing my love physically to my wife, right? We write it in letters and say, darling, I love you and all these things. But sexual intimacy is, I'm just revealing to her with my body, and I mean, with my physical thing, I'm telling her, I love you and I respect you so much, right? Okay.
So-
Then the other meaning of sexual intimacy is every time the husband and the wife come together, right? They once again, every time they come together, they reinstate the promise that we take at the altar, right? Sally, 30 years back, I married you, right? We had sexual intimacy. Now, whenever I come together with you, right, I still love you, I still honor you, I still respect you, and you're my first priority, right?
I am not seeking pleasure from anywhere else. You are the only
I'm
one.
forsaking everybody. I would have lost my hair would have become gray, I would have become plumpy, I would have put on pot belly and all these things. You would have become plumpy also. Still, I love you. Still, I do, right? That is the promise you keep on doing when you make love to your spouse, right?
Okay, future spouse. So the thing is, sexual intimacy is a beautiful gift. It's an exclusive gift for marriage. So it can be opened only after marriage. So that's what the Bible says.
Yeah.
So God, it is also for procreation. God hates abortion.
Yeah.
It is equivalent to murder. So children, a future, when you marry, after your marriage,
If you have completed,
okay, after from one child to another child, you want a slight gap, okay, because the wife cannot immediately after the child is very difficult because her body needs to be healed and all those things. So between the gap that you need means you should not use any tablets. Okay, don't use any tablets. Don't use copper tea. Doctors will advise copper tea or tablets. Please don't go for it because tablets will spoil her body. Copper tea is will not. It's not safe because why I'm saying it's not safe. Copper tea will avoid
like
conception.
it's a kind of an abortion. That's what she says.
It avoids conception, but the thing is sometimes the copper tea, what happens, fused the um, zygote will come out. Okay,
Right.
but the
Sometimes
doctors
it allows the sperm and the egg to fuse, and after that, what it pushes a fused one to.
There are some doctors here.
Yeah,
I know
Larisha,
that they agree with me. Larisha,
can you comment on this?
Yeah, it does. It basically doesn't sometimes prevent the formation as such.
doesn't prevent formation.
Sometimes kills. Yeah.
So it prevents implantation. Thank you. So the thing is, so it is better go for a condoms. Okay. So that will be more useful. So
that is also safe, right?
Okay.
Okay, right. Sex is holy. Okay, you'll be surprised when I say this one. Right, in Hebrews chapter
13.
Can we take another 5 minutes or 10 minutes so that we can finish this point? Okay, is it okay for you all? You must be hungry.
No, sure, sir. Okay.
Yeah, right. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4 says, marriage should be honored in all, and the marriage bed kept pure. Right, means marriage is holy, and the sexual act between the husband and the wife is holy. Right? The word holy there, or pure, or some word there, or undefiled. Keep your marriage bed undefiled. Right? The word is used only, the Hebrew word called amiotas is used only 4 times in the Bible, right? The particular word for holiness, one kind of holiness is only used 4 times in the Bible, okay? Thrice it is used for the holiness of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is holy, Jesus Christ is pure, is above holiness, right? And the 4th time it is used for the intimacy between the husband and the wife. The intimacy between the husband and wife is holy, right? Keep your holiness, this intimacy pure and holy. Do not defile your marriage bed.
Look
How
at
can
the,
we?
look
How,
at the way that God is telling us. He is using the same word which is used for his holiness. The same word is using for sexual intimacy between husband and wife.
Yeah.
So God, see, God's holiness, same word is used here. So God's expectation is how we are going to keep it holy. Okay. So keep the marriage bed undefiled means what?
yeah.
In the
Today-
marriage bed, we are going to only husband and wife going to sleep.
What is the goal of marriage? Two becoming one, right? But the problem with our medias and all these things, you open a movie, right? Like heroines, right? They're very poor. They don't have money to buy dress even. So they come with small dresses, right? A piece of dress, okay? Right? When men, we see it, like we are excited by sight. We are sexually triggered by sight. Okay. When we see that, we get triggered. And for example, if I see a woman half naked dancing on the screen, and I take her with me, take her into my heart and my mind, and I have sex with my wife, that is defiling my marriage bed, right? Now, it's not two becoming one, it is three becoming one. The one woman on the screen, my wife and I. That's not the command.
That's
God-
adultery.
That's adultery, right? I need to keep my mind, my soul, body, everything pure. That is what God has from each of us, right? And in Ephesians, it says, there should not be an hint of sexual immorality. There should not be an hint of sexual immorality. Keep a marriage bed pure. And what about pornography today? Pornography is destroying about 35% of marriages, right? Sexual related things, right? Pornography, LGBT groups, and all these things, unfaithfulness, it destroys marriage, and the percentage is about 60 to 70% now. A person who is addicted to pornography will not get attracted to his wife, to his spouse. That is what research says. Because my brain is tuned to get sexually excited by seeing at
Virtual image.
the virtual image, right? So whenever I see the virtual image, I get sexually triggered. So I get addicted to it like alcohol or any substance. Yeah. So when it comes to the natural relationship between a man and a woman, when I see my woman naked, I will not get sexually triggered.
Because I am not same as the virtual image.
Yeah. Virtual image is not true at all, right? So I want to perform like the virtual
Lot of
image.
camera gimmicks are there.
So people say, psychologists also say, psychiatrists also say, like watch pornography and learn about sexual intimacy. No, 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 no. Don't watch these things and spoil. Don't get addicted to it. Okay, you go out of your house. How many shades of green do you see? Can you count the number of shades of green?
You cannot.
You cannot, right?
Because
There's so
trees
many.
and plants are different. Each and every leaves, if plant leaves are different from other plant leaves.
Each green, there's so many varieties of grasses, and the leaves, the color, the shades are entirely different from each other. The shapes are different from each other. Who created it? It is God who created all these things, okay? We are made in the image of God. God has put creativity in us. When the husband and the wife come together, the creativity in us works how to pressurize each other. So what we mean is you learn from each other.
So see this as a journey.
Right.
It is not a one-day performance.
Right.
Especially children, we are telling you, because you're
Especially
not
men.
married, your whole excitement is on the first day.
Right.
Okay. The first day of marriage, we have to perform. Nobody is going to
Especially-
give you Olympic medal. Okay.
Okay, especially man, his sexuality is connected with his ego. He's always connected with his performance, right? I need to show my machoism, right? I am a man, right? Even if you fail, even if you pass, Your father-in-law is not going to give you a gold medal for having sex with his daughter on the first night. Okay, right? You fail, maybe you don't perform well, but together you talk. How can I pleasure you? Learn from each other. That's the best way of learning about sex, right? Not from the pornography. Pornography will lead you to addiction. It will spoil your marriage. Okay, so marriage, sex. Bible is the only book that talks about sex as holy. No other book talks about sex as holy. Bible is the only book which talks about sex plainly and clearly and teaches everything, right?
So we say that this sexual intimacy as a journey, it's not a one-day performance or the first day performance. So within a month, the marriage should be consummated. After marriage, within a month. So you have a month time that you both have to understand each other, and you have to get rid of the fear. See, the girls have fear. Girls also should understand that boys also have fear. They won't show it, but they have fear. So the thing is, both of you should get out of the fear. Then you both will talk, have to talk to each other, and then ask each other what pleasurizing you. As Peter told, boys are attracted by sight. So for them, their spouse should look as beautiful for them. Okay, not for the world, for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not telling you to go to the beauty parlor daily and decorate yourself. Okay. But
So
the
be
thing,
good
neatness
for-
is neatness. Keep
Neat-
yourself neat and clean. Young girls.
for your spouse.
Right.
And
And for the young men, right, their women are not triggered by sight, right?
see, my husband comes to me and dances in front of me without dress, nothing will trigger me.
She'll tell, hey, go wear your pajamas and come, man.
And
Right?
for me, nothing will trigger me because I am not sight oriented.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, boys, you need to understand, girls will get triggered by relationship.
Yeah.
How
I
my
need to be very
husband-
romantic.
Ah.
Men think we are very romantic. We are not romantic at all. Women are more romantic than men. For men, it is just sex, right? They think sex means romance. No.
For us, romance is not
being
sex.
gentle,
Yeah.
right? You need to respect your spouse. If you don't respect your wife, she will not feel loved, right? If you don't love your wife, she'll not feel respected. Also, okay, be gentle with her, right? Don't start.
The way that my husband treats me from morning,
Mm.
the way that showing his love and his nearness to me, that triggers me.
Yeah, put your arm around her, sit with her, talk to her, right? Not loud. She loves that, right? Have you seen the sparrows making love with each other, chirping? Huh? It should be like that. Okay. So that is romance for her. Hold hands, right? Set the bedroom nicely with the dim lights, candle light, set the table, right?
So before
He-
all those things are very important. So before your marriage,
Yeah,
if
there are
there
some.
is a relationship, that broken relationship, that is past relationship, get over from that. That is very important. Get over from that. Don't keep the number, don't communicate with that person. You stop everything, block it and everything. Don't entertain those things. If there is something uh, which is a failure before, don't entertain now. You
Right.
have to go and ask God for forgiveness and go ahead with your marriage.
Forgive yourself, ask God for forgiveness, and also forgive the person who broke from you, right?
Yeah.
The hurt will be there, the pain will be there. Second thing, if you have had premarital sex, then you need to ask God for forgiveness, right? Don't enter into marriage today.
Without asking for
Today, without those days, men paid money for sex. Today, it has been given freely by everybody, right? It's become very open, right? In case if you're at an encounter with anybody, it's better for you to leave to ask forgiveness from God, right?
even if
Heal
you're
yourself.
engaged, even if you're engaged,
Please
you
don't engage in premarital sex. You're not
ask
married.
God from forgiveness, okay? Because we should not violate the moral law of God. The Lord said, okay, leave your father and mother, cleave to your wife, and you shall become one. After doing all the accepting your spouse as God's gift, leave, prioritizing your marriage, you work on your marriage, then comes the sexual intimacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even
be
while
faithful.
talking or chatting with your spouse, don't talk about those intimate things and all these things, because it's going to trigger your feelings too much, right?
You have
And-
lifetime
and-
to talk, man. You
Yeah.
have lifetime. See, we have 30 years we are talking, but still we have to talk. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't finish everything now itself.
Before marriage.
Yeah. So wait for the years to talk.
Right.
Okay.
And one more thing, if you have been abused by somebody else, right? Don't worry about these things. God will heal you. The hurt is going to be there. Don't enter into the marriage without being healed, right? This is going to create havoc between you and your spouse. You'll not enjoy your sexual intimacy. God is going to heal you, right?
Okay.
So we saw that this is God's gift, and it's my duty, and I need to see that my wife is pressurized, okay, and my sex is holy. The word that is used for God's holiness is used for the sexual intimacy between the man and a woman. Any questions? We have past time, but we can wait for you.
Is there any way to know if my man is still not over his ex? Okay. How to know this? If that person is talking so much about the ex relationship, or while talking is so cherishing about it, then he is not got over of that relationship. Okay. See, when you have a past relationship, how do you talk? You say that I had a past relationship. I know that it went okay, it broke, it's over. I'm not thinking about it. That's all. When you really, oh, we did like this, it was there, it was not going from my mind, it is like that, it is like, you often you are bringing to mind that one, then you are thinking about it, you are cherishing on that. If you are cherishing on that, you are not got over of that relationship. Okay. So that's how you.
Any questions? You all look tired.
Yeah. So much we spoke.
At least open your videos now. Thank you, Janet. Any questions you have? Blessy, did you introduce yourself?
Yes, uncle.
Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm getting old. And I saw somebody was